Chapter 2893. Duan Ling Tian's left arm hung limply by his side as Huana hugged it. His right hand was behind his back at an unknown time, and a hairpin appeared in his hand out of thin air. The hairpin shone with a mysterious light. Clearly, it was not an ordinary item. More importantly, there was a three-petaled flower at the end of the hairpin. There was a layer of blood-red light surrounding the flower, and the color of the flower was blood-red. It was as though it was dyed red by blood. I want to know, is it your idea to kill me, or is it the idea of the entire blissful sect? When Duan Ling Tian asked Lian, one of the petals of the flower on the hairpin in his right hand began to move rhythmically before it turned into liquid. As soon as the liquid flowed, the petals seemed to wither. In the next moment, the liquid formed by the flower petal flowed along the ancient patterns on the hairpin like a stream, making the ancient patterns look like intricate little streams. That withered petal was completely blood-red. Due to this reason, the liquid it had transformed into was also blood-red. After flowing through the hairpin, it entered Duan Ling Tian's right hand and entered his body. From the outside, it looked as though it had completely disappeared. A dead man doesn't need to know so much. In the face of Duan Ling Tian's question, Lian smirked coldly. With a wave of his hand, a crescent-shaped streak of light appeared in the air and shot toward Duan Ling Tian at high speed. His speed was similar to when he attacked Bai Ping and Tai Tai He, the sect leader of the Tai Yi Celestial sect. Even Situ Ming and Situ Ming could not see through him. Similarly, Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect, could not see through Lian's speed. After all, Lian's speed was too fast. Master Duan! Master Duan! While Lian was attacking Duan Ling Tian, Bai Ping and Tai Tai He, who were sent flying by Lian, cried out anxiously. Their expressions changed drastically when they saw Lian attacking Duan Ling Tian. At the same time, they tried to help Duan Ling Tian despite their injuries. However, when they stood up again, the crescent-shaped streak of light that was filled with killing intent had already crossed half the distance and arrived near Duan Ling Tian. Buzz! The crescent-shaped ray of light shot toward Duan Ling Tian, like the scythe of the Grim Reaper. At this critical moment, Immobilization King. Just as the crescent-shaped ray of light was about to hit Duan Ling Tian, a golden shield rose from Duan Ling Tian's body at lightning speed. Upon closer inspection, one would be able to see the silhouette of a golden Buddha. The silhouette of a golden Buddha appeared and shielded Duan Ling Tian. Earlier, Lian had attacked Bai Ping and Tai Tai He so quickly that Duan Ling Tian could not even catch a glimpse of his movements. This time, not only did Duan Ling Tian see Lian's movements clearly, but he also saw how slow Lian's thunderous attack was. It was so slow that it was pitifully slow. The reason why he only reacted when Lian's attack was so close to him was because he was stunned by the celestial origin energy that filled his body. He was also shocked by the strength of his soul force. Now he didn't even need to deliberately extend his divine consciousness to investigate his surroundings. He just needed to use his soul energy to sense everything around him. Apart from him, there were 6 other people present. The one closest to him was Huan Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Yi Celestial sect, Tai Tai He, the supreme elder of the Tai Yi Celestial sect, and Situ Ming, the prominent celestial alchemist of the Tai Yi Celestial sect. Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, and Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect. At this moment, Duan Ling Tian felt as though he was in complete control of his surroundings. He felt as though he only needed a thought to release his celestial origin energy to destroy everything in his surroundings. So this is the strength of a celestial lord's soul and celestial origin energy? Duan Ling Tian was shocked. At this moment, he could clearly sense the transformation of the celestial origin energy in his body. It was an indescribable transformation. Compared to before, it was simply like the difference between the clouds and mud, the difference between the heavens and the earth. It was not only his celestial origin energy that had transformed, but his soul force had also undergone a transformation. This transformation was due to one of the petals of the flower at the end of the hairpin that had turned into a blood-red liquid and merged with his body. The amount of blood-red liquid that the flower petal had turned into was not much. In fact, it was not even as much as a sip of water that Duan Ling Tian usually drank. However, after the blood-red liquid merged with Duan Lingtian's body, it caused his celestial origin energy to surge and undergo an earth-shattering transformation. Not only did the blood-red liquid transform Duan Lingtian's celestial origin energy, but it had also transformed Duan Lingtian's soul. After the transformation, Duan Lingtian felt as though he was in complete control of his surroundings. At this moment, he felt as though he was the ruler of heaven and earth. Duan Lingtian, who was still immersed in the transformation of his body, quickly regained his senses when Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, attacked him. He instinctively cast the Duke-grade celestial method, the Immobilization King method, that he had not fully comprehended. The Immobilization King method was the Duke-grade celestial method that Duan Lingtian had won from the blissful sect during the alchemy conference. Once he cast it, the silhouette of a golden Buddha would appear around him. Impossible! In the distance, Lian, who had been waiting to see Duan Lingtian being killed by Duan Lingtian, widened his eyes in shock. This, on the other hand, Bai Ping and Tai Tai He, who were trying their best to stand up and rescue Duan Lingtian, stared at the scene in disbelief with their eyes wide open. Looking at their dumbfounded expressions, it was as if they had seen something inconceivable. Clang! At this moment, a soft sound reverberated in the air. It was Lian's attack. When it collided with the golden Buddha silhouette that was propped up by Duan Lingtian's body, it merely left a soft sound and did not cause any damage to the wall at all. Brother Lingtian, Huan who was standing next to Duan Lingtian, was horrified when she heard Bai Ping and Tai Tai He's words. Her eyes turned cold as well. At this moment, Duan Lingtian could clearly sense the changes in Huan energy. He could even tell Huan was casting a secret technique that had great side effects. However, this was only the beginning stages. Is this the Thousand Phantoms Ice Fox's technique? Duan Lingtian's heart skipped a beat. It was not difficult for him to guess this was the case. Huan Duan Lingtian quickly stopped Huan and said, "Don't forget that Brother Lingtian still has a consumable royal-grade celestial weapon. Brother Lingtian has already used one of the petals on the royal-grade celestial weapon." Huan had long forgotten about the consumable royal-grade celestial weapon that Duan Lingtian had obtained. She only had one thought in her mind. Even if she had to sacrifice her life, she could not let anything happen to Brother Lingtian. She only regained her senses when Duan Lingtian's voice transmission entered her ears. At the same time, she stopped casting the secret technique. However, she still suffered quite a serious internal injury when she suddenly stopped casting the secret technique. Barf! Huan coughed up a mouthful of blood. This caught everyone by surprise. No one had expected Huan to cough up blood so suddenly. Moreover, her face was pale, and her aura was weak. Huan Duan Lingtian's expression changed drastically when he saw Huan vomiting blood. A distressed expression appeared on his face as he said, "What kind of secret technique did you use? You didn't even have the chance to cast the secret technique before it was interrupted. Moreover, it put a huge burden on your body." Duan Lingtian had thought Huan would be fine as long as she stopped casting the secret technique in time. Alas, he was still too naive. The side effects of Huan's secret technique were far greater than he had expected. Although she had only stopped casting the secret technique in the beginning, she still suffered severe internal injuries. "Brother Lingtian, I'm fine." Huan forced a smile and shook her head when she saw the concern on Duan Lingtian's face and the heartache in his eyes. However, as soon as she smiled, she could not help but spit out another mouthful of blood. Huan's face turned even paler. Swoosh! Duan Lingtian pulled his left hand out of Huan's embrace and placed it on Huan's back. A gentle yet majestic energy surged into Huan's body, suppressing the chaotic celestial origin energy in her body. Then, the chaotic celestial origin energy in Huan's body calmed down. With this, Huan's injuries were finally healed. "Brother Lingtian, is this the power of the royal-grade celestial weapon?" At this moment, even Huan was shocked by the energy that surged into her body. As soon as the energy surged into her body, it easily suppressed the celestial origin energy in her body that had been agitated due to the interruption of the secret technique. In just a short time, the celestial origin energy in her body calmed down. After Duan Lingtian helped Huan adjust her celestial origin energy, Huan's tense body finally relaxed. Huan's body went limp as though she was about to collapse. At this critical moment, Duan Lingtian reached out with his left hand and hugged Huan tightly. Huan's body rested on his chest as she hugged Duan Lingtian's waist tightly. Huan hugged Huan like a bear hugging a tree. So you're the one who did this? At this moment, Lian looked at Huan and sneered coldly. NT. Previous chapter list next chapter. Chapter 2894. Initially, Lian was baffled by how Duan Lingtian managed to block his attack. At this moment, when he saw the woman next to Duan Lingtian spitting out 2 mouthfuls of blood, her face was pale, and her aura was weak, as though she was suffering from the side effects of using a secret technique. He instantly felt it was the doing of the woman next to Duan Lingtian. Although he did not know how the woman managed to block Duan Lingtian's Duke-grade celestial method, the immobilization king method, he was certain it was her doing. Although I don't know how you, little girl, helped Duan Lingtian block that attack of mine, I think you probably won't be able to help this kid after this, right? Lian laughed coldly. With a raise of his hand, another attack flashed towards Duan Lingtian. Master Duan. Upon seeing this, Bai Ping and Tai Tai He, who shared the same opinion as Lian that Duan Lingtian had survived earlier, were shocked when they saw Lian attacking Duan Lingtian again. In the next moment, they wanted to help Duan Lingtian block Lian's attack. However, before they could make a move, Lian's figure appeared in front of them like a ghost. With a raise of his hands, 2 palms whizzed out. They were like palm leaf fans as they enveloped Bai Ping and Bai Yen. Take care of yourselves first. When Lian attacked Bai Ping and the other man, his cold laughter spread in a timely manner. Bang! Bang! However, after the 2 palms landed, 2 loud sounds were heard. The cold smile on Lian's face completely froze. This was because his attack did not land on Bai Ping and Tai Tai He. Unbeknownst to him, 2 figures had appeared out of thin air between him and Bai Ping, and a layer of golden Buddha shadow had also appeared in front of him, forcibly blocking his 2 palms that were aimed at Bai Ping and Tai Tai He. The strongest 9 palaces celestial duke in the 6 southeastern regions? That's all there is to it. Duan Lingtian, who was hugging Huan with one arm, looked at Lian indifferently. A hint of disdain could be seen on his face. The silhouette of the golden Buddha around him was like an impenetrable barrier that could not be breached. Duan Lingtian easily blocked Lian's second attack. After blocking Lian's second attack, Duan Lingtian noticed Bai Ping and Tai Tai He were in danger, and acted in time to save them. How's that possible? At this moment, no matter how slow Lian's reaction was, he could tell Duan Lingtian had relied on his own strength to block his attacks twice and save Bai Ping and Tai Tai He at the critical moment. Lian did not rely on the woman's secret technique to help him. For this reason, an expression of disbelief on his face. After all, Duan Lingtian was stronger than Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian's strength had far surpassed his. Moreover, Duan Lingtian's strength was far beyond his reach. He thought to himself, even a one basic celestial king, who's stronger than a celestial duke, wouldn't be able to appear out of thin air in front of me without leaving a trace, right? Lian did not know how Duan Lingtian had appeared in front of Lian and saved Bai Ping and Tai Tai He. During that time, Lian could not even catch a glimpse of Duan Lingtian's movements. This also explained a problem. Duan Lingtian's speed was so fast that even Lian could not catch a glimpse of it. Who are you? How can you be so strong? Lian looked at Duan Lingtian, and his face was filled with dense fear and terror. This was the first time he had seen such a strange person. Although Duan Lingtian was not even 100 years old, he was already an outstanding prominent celestial alchemist. Based on the strength Duan Lingtian had displayed, it was clear Duan Lingtian was stronger than him. Grandmaster, I didn't expect Duan Lingtian to have concealed his strength. Even I can't see through his speed. Once he matures, he'll definitely become a threat to the blissful sect. There's no need for you to play along with him. Just kill him as soon as possible. A long night is fraught with problems. Ji-fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect, said to Lian as he stepped forward. Ji Fan had no idea what had happened earlier. Apart from that, Ji Fan did not see the fear on Lian's face. Otherwise, he would not have dared to say such words at this moment. With his strength, he was utterly unable to clearly see Lian's movements, and was unable to clearly see what exactly Lian had done similarly. When Duan Lingtian appeared next to Bai Ping and Tai Tai He, Ji Fan realized he could not see through Duan Lingtian's speed. Even so, Ji Fan did not think it was because he could not see through Duan Lingtian's speed. In his opinion, Ji Fan was confident. With his grandmaster's strength, Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, could easily kill Duan Lingtian. In fact, when Ji Fan saw that his grandmaster had not killed Duan Lingtian, he thought his grandmaster was toying with Duan Lingtian, and did not kill Duan Lingtian. For this reason, Ji Fan urged Lian to kill Duan Lingtian as soon as possible. There's no need for me to play along with him. Kill him as soon as possible. However, Lian's heart jolted when he heard Ji Fan's words. He felt a burning sensation on his face. When he looked at Duan Lingtian again, apart from the fear and dread in his eyes, there was also a hint of doubt. At this moment, many thoughts flashed through his mind. He wondered how this young man, who was not even 100 years old, could be so strong. However, he was also skeptical. Could it be that the strength displayed by this young man was due to him using some kind of secret technique? Otherwise, he could not believe it. How could an outstanding prominent celestial alchemist, who was not even 100 years old, possess strength that surpassed an ordinary celestial king? Let alone the spirit overarching heaven. I don't think there are any prominent celestial alchemists and celestial kings who are not even 100 years old in the other Devata realms. Even a celestial king who is not even 100 years old might not be able to do so, right? Ji Fan thought to himself. When he thought up to here, Lian was even more certain that the purple-clothed young man before him had most likely used some sort of secret technique to possess strength that surpassed an ordinary immortal king. Humph! Upon hearing Ji Fan's words, Duan Lingtian no longer concealed the aura of his celestial origin energy. He released a small portion of his celestial origin energy to the surface of his body, causing a terrifying aura to fill the air. This is the aura of a celestial king. Bai Ping and Tai Tai He, who were the closest to Duan Lingtian, regained their senses immediately. Their faces were filled with shock and disbelief as they looked at Duan Lingtian's back. Earlier, when Duan Lingtian saved them, the speed he revealed and the ability he used to easily block Lian's attack allowed them to faintly realize that Duan Lingtian's strength wasn't inferior to Lian. In fact, they were certain Duan Lingtian was stronger than Lian. Just like Lian, they could tell Duan Lingtian's strength had nothing to do with Duan Lingtian's strength. For this reason, they were so shocked that they fell into a daze. When Duan Lingtian's terrifying celestial origin energy surged out of his body, it reminded them of the celestial king's aura they had once felt in the past. To be able to emit such a terrifying aura, only an immortal king expert would possess immortal elemental energy. This was what Bai Ping and Tai Tai He thought to themselves. Even the celestial origin energy of a 10 directions celestial duke was not as terrifying as Duan Lingtian's aura. Bai Ping and Tai Tai He were certain Duan Lingtian was a celestial king. After all, they had seen 10 directions celestial dukes before. In fact, they had even seen a 10 directions celestial duke in action. Swoosh! Lian's expression changed drastically when he sensed Duan Lingtian's celestial origin energy and saw the killing intent in Duan Lingtian's eyes. He felt as though he was about to die. Bang! A loud explosion rang in the air as Lian rose to his feet and shot out of the Tai celestial sect's estate like a shooting star. Duan Lingtian watched as Lian left. He was in no hurry to chase after Lian Grandmaster. Ji Fan, on the other hand, was stunned when he realized that his Grandmaster had disappeared. He even felt a little guilty when he looked at Duan Lingtian and the others before him. Lian! At this moment, Duan Lingtian's voice rang in the air. Although his voice was not loud, it seemed to contain some sort of magical power. Everyone in the Tai celestial sect's estate clearly heard his words. Do you think you can escape? Duan Lingtian's voice shocked everyone in the Tai celestial sect. This is Master Duan's voice? What's going on? Based on Master Duan's words, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, the strongest 9 palaces celestial duke in the 6 southeastern regions, is fleeing? I think so. I heard Master Duan is from a powerful clan in the central area. It's highly possible that he has a celestial king, or stronger protecting him. It seems like his bodyguard has made a move. Let's go. Let's go watch the show. A commotion broke out in the Tai celestial sex estate. Many people flew into the air above the Tai celestial sex estate to watch the show. At this moment, boom, rumble. A series of thunderous booms rang in the air above the Tai celestial sex estate. Everyone was shocked to see the blue sky had turned purple in just a blink of an eye. In fact, when the thunderous explosions reverberated in the surroundings of the Tai celestial sex estate, the sky above them had turned purple. Heavens! What's going on? Why did the sky change? Can someone tell me what's going on? Why did the sky change so suddenly? The Tai celestial sex estate was in an uproar. Everyone was anxious and worried about the sudden change in the sky. NT. Previous chapter list next chapter. Chapter 2895. Only a few people in the Tai celestial sex estate knew the reason for the sudden change in the color of the sky. Is this the profound heaven celestial sex Duke grade divine ability, the Eastern Purple Chi? By Ping, the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, and Tai He, the supreme elder of the Tai celestial sect, stared at the purple-clad figure in front of them in shock. At this moment, Duan Lingtian slowly rose into the air with Huan in his arms. As he soared into the sky, celestial origin energy, emitting a terrifying aura, surged into the sky from his body. In the end, the celestial origin energy turned into a purple pillar of light that soared into the sky. In just a blink of an eye, the clouds in the sky stirred, and the sky changed color. In just a blink of an eye, the sky above the Tai celestial sex estate turned purple. Master Duan has completely mastered the Eastern Purple Chi. This seems to be a technique called Purple Chi Space that can only be used after completely comprehending and mastering the Purple Chi from the East. Right? The Eastern Purple Chi Space seems to cover the entire Tai celestial sex estate. Even the twin brothers of the profound heaven celestial sect, who are 10 directions celestial dukes, can't cover even 1/10 of the Tai celestial sex estate. Right? Based on Master Duan's strength, it seems like he's not an ordinary celestial king. After all, even an ordinary celestial king wouldn't be able to create such a powerful Eastern Purple Chi space. It is said that in the area covered by the purple cloud space, as long as the person who created the purple cloud space is within range of the purple cloud space, his opponent will be exposed. Meanwhile, Sita Ming, the prominent celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, and Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect, were dumbfounded when they heard Bai Ping and Tai He's words. Master Duan is a celestial king? Sita Ming was dumbstruck and couldn't come back to his senses for a long time. Duan Lingtian is a celestial king? In addition, this person wasn't an ordinary immortal king. Even the profound heaven celestial sect's twin brothers, the 10 directions celestial dukes, can't do something like that? When Ji Fan heard Bai Ping and Tai He's words, and sensed the terrifying aura emitted from Duan Lingtian, he was so frightened that he fell limply to the ground. He could not get up for a long time as his entire body trembled. How is this possible? How is this possible? How can he be so powerful? Isn't he just an ascender who has ascended not long ago? Isn't he just a brat who isn't even 100 years old? Now, no matter how unwilling Ji Fan was to believe that everything in front of him was real, he had no choice but to believe that everything was real and that he was not dreaming. After a few breaths of time, due to the celestial origin energy contained in the voice, it spread throughout the Tai celestial sex estate in just a blink of an eye. Purple Chi from the East. The Purple Chi from the East you displayed is actually so powerful. Even an ordinary celestial king wouldn't be able to cast such a powerful Purple Chi from the East. At this moment, everyone in the Tai celestial sex estate heard the voice. The voice belonged to none other than Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect. Look, the purple sky seems to be returning to its normal color. A disciple of the Tai celestial sect, who was looking at the sky, suddenly shouted, as though he had discovered a new world. Many people in the surroundings looked up at the sky as well. He saw that the purple color that filled the sky was shrinking at an extremely exaggerated speed. Look, there's a figure in the middle of the shrinking purple sky. Soon after, someone else noticed the figure in the sky. A figure could be seen at the center of the shrinking purple sky. In the end, the purple sky shrunk around the figure, revealing the figure to the people from the Tai celestial sect. It's a monk. Isn't that Lian, the old ancestor of the compassionate celestial traveler sect? I've seen him before. What? That wretched monk is Lian, the person who's said to be invincible among those below 10 directions celestial dukes in the 6 southeastern regions? Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Lian, who was shrouded in a deep purple energy, cut a sorry figure. Not only was his kasaya in tatters, but his aura was also very weak. It was as though he had just gone through a tough battle. At this moment, everyone from the Tai celestial sect stepped forward and looked at Lian, who was shrouded by the purple energy. Swoosh! A purple and white figure seemed to appear out of thin air before everyone's eyes. And it appeared near Lian, who was bound and imprisoned by an expanse of deep purple energy. The sudden appearance of the figure attracted the attention of the people from the Tai celestial sect. Isn't that Master Duan? The woman next to him. When the people from the Tai celestial sect took a closer look at the newcomer, they realized the newcomer was actually two people. However, since the two people were leaning against each other, they thought they were the same person. At the same time, the people from the Tai celestial sect recognized the two people. The strongest 9 palaces celestial duke in the 6 southeastern regions. The person who's said to be invincible among those below 10 directions celestial dukes. Duan Ling Tian held Huan with one hand and placed the other on his back as he looked at Lian calmly. Master Duan, Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, Tai Tai He, and Sita Ming, the celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, followed closely behind Duan Ling Tian. Grandmaster Ji Fan, the Arhat of the compassionate celestial traveler sect, followed closely behind Duan Ling Tian. Naturally, Ji Fan did not want to follow Duan Ling Tian. In fact, he had thought of running away earlier. However, as soon as he made a move, Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, glared at him with killing intent. He did not dare to flee, and could only follow Bai Ping obediently. Ji Fan's expression changed drastically when he saw Lian in such a wretched state. He instinctively moved closer to Lian. Currently, he had no one to rely on other than Lian. Only when he was by Lian's side did he feel slightly safe. However, he only felt slightly safe. Based on the current situation, it was not difficult for him to see that his grandmaster was no match for Duan Ling Tian. It seemed like his grandmaster's current state had something to do with Duan Ling Tian as well. Duan Ling Tian, I've underestimated you. Lian looked at Duan Ling Tian with a bitter smile on his face. I thought you were just a mere transcender. I didn't expect you to be so strong. This isn't your own strength, right? You must have used some other method, right? At this moment, Lian's aura was so weak that he was gasping for breath. It was clear he was severely injured. Swoosh, swoosh. As soon as Lian finished speaking, before Duan Ling Tian could respond, Lian's eyes widened again. 2 dazzling rays of gray light shot out from his eyes. The 2 rays of gray light converged and shot toward Duan Ling Tian. Soul attack. Upon seeing this, Bai Ping, Tai Tai He, and the others who saw Lian's soul attack were horrified. A mantis trying to stop a chariot. When Duan Ling Tian saw Lian casting his soul attack, he knew Lian was betting on the strength of his soul attack. Duan Ling Tian could not help but sneer. If Lian had used some secret technique to boost his celestial origin energy to the level of a celestial king for a short period of time, perhaps his soul attack was not as strong as his celestial origin energy. However, he did not use any secret technique at all. His current strength was all thanks to the consumable royal grade celestial weapon. Due to the consumable royal grade celestial weapon, Both his celestial origin energy and soul attack had risen to the level of a celestial lord. Although he was only an ordinary celestial lord, he could easily sweep through the 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands. Chi. Due to this reason, when Duanling Tian's left eye flashed, he casually cast a soul attack that easily destroyed Li An's soul attack. Not only that, but it did not slow down at all as it entered Li An's body and attacked his soul. Li An's soul attack shattered instantly. Although Duanling Tian had only casually cast a soul attack, Li An's soul attack was still at the level of a celestial lord. Even a celestial king would not be a match for his soul attack, let alone a mere celestial duke. For this reason, Li An's soul attack was easily destroyed by Duanling Tian's soul attack. I killed Duanling Tian because of my own will. It has nothing to do with the blissful sect. Before Li An's soul was destroyed by Duanling Tian, he had left behind these words before he died. These words were uttered by Li An as soon as his soul attack was destroyed by Duanling Tian's soul attack. He spoke extremely quickly as if he was afraid he would not be able to complete his sentence. Is that so? After Duanling Tian killed Li An, a sneer appeared on his face when he heard Li An's last words. He did not comment on it at all. At the same time, with just a thought from Duanling Tian, the purple energy that imprisoned Li An disappeared. In the next moment, Li An's body began to freefall from the sky. The purple energy was none other than Duanling Tian's Duke-grade divine ability, the Eastern Purple Qi. Moreover, Duanling Tian had used the Eastern Purple Qi to chase after Li An and capture Li An, who had almost escaped from the Tai Yi celestial sex estate. Arhat, is what he said true? Duanling Tian asked with a faint smile as he looked at Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect. NT yes. Previous chapter list next chapter. Chapter 2896. If it was the Duanling Tian of the past, even if he glared at Ji Fan wouldn't feel the slightest bit of fear. But now, even though Duanling Tian was looking at him with a smile, he couldn't help but change his expression. The nerves all over his body were tense, as if he was sitting on pins and needles. He didn't see how Li An, the patriarch of the blissful sect, died. However, based on the behavior of the people around him, it was not difficult for him to see that the people around him were not interested in him. His grandmaster had died at the hands of Duanling Tian. Oh my god! Master Duan's soul attack is too terrifying. Not only did it destroy Li An's soul attack, it even destroyed Li An's soul. Li An's soul couldn't withstand Alchemist Duan's soul attack at all. It was directly annihilated. Master Duan's strength is actually this strong. Master Duan is really good at concealing his abilities. In the past, I only knew that his alchemy Dao was extremely high. He even made a name for himself during the alchemy conference, and is widely acknowledged as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions. But I didn't expect that apart from his alchemy standards that can be rated as heaven-defying, he still has such heaven-defying strength. Based on Master Duan's strength, I'm afraid even a 10-direction celestial duke is no match for him, right? Alchemist Duan is definitely an immortal king expert. Otherwise, it's impossible for him to have such strength. Earlier, the sky suddenly turned purple, and the old ancestor of the blissful sect, Li An, was captured by the purple energy. At that time, I thought it was one of Master Duan's subordinates who did it, but I didn't expect it to be Master Duan himself. Oh my god! What kind of clan was that behind Alchemist Duan? A monster like him actually appeared. A prominent celestial alchemist and a celestial king, who's not even 100 years old, let alone the Southern Heaven territory. Such a person is rare even in the spirit overarching heaven, right? I don't know. In any case, I've never heard of a celestial king under the age of 100 appearing in the spirit overarching heaven. Maybe I'm just ignorant and inexperienced. Maybe there really isn't a celestial king under the age of 100 in the spirit overarching heaven. While Ji Fan's expression changed drastically, he heard a series of whispers by his ear. These whispers came from the high-ranking officials of the Tai Yi celestial sect. When he heard the discussions among the high-ranking officials of the Tai Yi celestial sect, he felt a chill run down his spine. Arhat, are you ignoring my words? You're not giving me any face? Ji Fan's expression changed drastically, and his heart was filled with panic. He even forgot to reply to Duan Lingtian. At the same time, Duan Lingtian spoke again. At the same time, he looked at Ji Fan with a cold gaze. It was the coldness in his eyes that caused Ji Fan's expression to change drastically. He even felt as though he had fallen into an ice cellar. No. At the same time, Ji Fan did not dare to be negligent. He quickly looked at Duan Lingtian and shook his head. Master Duan, I'm not ignoring you on purpose. It's not that I don't want to give you face. I lost focus just now. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. As he spoke, Ji Fan repeatedly bowed and apologized to Duan Lingtian. His apprehension made it seem as though he was afraid that Duan Lingtian would attack him. Ji Fan knew very well. With the strength that Duan Lingtian had displayed, killing him would be as easy as killing a chicken or cutting grass. So can you answer me now? Duan Lingtian raised an eyebrow and asked indifferently. Is it true that Lian wanted to kill me? Or is it the blissful sect's intention? I hope you're not lying to me, Arhat. After all, I can easily find out if I want to. Duan Lingtian gave Ji Fan a deep look, as if he was warning Ji Fan not to lie. I wouldn't dare. Even if I had 100 guts, I wouldn't dare to lie to you, Master Duan. Ji Fan hastily waved his hand when he heard Duan Lingtian's reminder. The decision to kill you was made by the higher-ups of the blissful sect, after we found out about your identity as an ascender. After the meeting, the Grand Master brought me here. Master Duan, I'm sure you know what happened after that, Ji Fan said. Duan Lingtian nodded. After that, he looked at Duan Lingtian cautiously. Master Duan, I've told you everything I wanted to know. Can I leave now? Now Ji Fan didn't want to stay here for a second longer, because this place was too insecure. Of course. Duan Lingtian nodded when he heard Ji Fan's words. Ji Fan heaved a sigh of relief, and was about to leave when Duan Lingtian's voice rang in his ears. His expression changed drastically again. The reason his expression changed drastically was due to Duan Lingtian's last sentence. Arhat, I'm planning to visit the blissful sect as well. You don't mind leading the way, right? These were Duan Lingtian's exact words. In other words, he wanted to visit the blissful sect. As for why Duan Lingtian wanted to visit the blissful sect, those who heard Duan Lingtian's words could guess it. Master Duan is planning to kill the blissful sect? I think so. Isn't this a little too crazy? No, it's not crazy. It might be crazy for an ordinary person. However, for Master Duan, it's just a small matter. That's right. After all, Master Duan is a celestial king. Many people from the Tai celestial sect whispered among themselves. At this moment, even the weaker disciples of the Tai celestial sect had learned that Duan Lingtian was a celestial king from the powerful high-ranking officials of the Tai celestial sect. Although they were shocked, they could not help but feel excited. After all, Duan Lingtian was a revered elder of the Tai celestial sect. What's wrong? Based on your expression, you don't seem to be willing? Duan Lingtian's eyes flashed as he asked in a deep voice. At the same time, his tone was even colder. No. I'm willing. It's my honor to lead the way for you, Master Duan. It's a blessing that I've accumulated over 3 lifetimes. When Ji Fan heard the coldness in Duan Lingtian's voice again, he was so frightened that his voice began to tremble. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead. At this moment, Duan Lingtian glanced at Bai Ping and said, Sect leader, I'd like to borrow Elder Tai to accompany me to the blissful sect. May I? Duan Lingtian asked with a faint smile. When Duan Lingtian finished speaking, he glanced at Tai Tai he who was standing next to Bai Ping. Of course. Although Bai Ping did not know why Duan Lingtian wanted Tai Tai he to accompany him to the blissful sect, he could not refuse Duan Lingtian's request. Moreover, such a request was nothing to him. Thank you, sect leader. Duan Lingtian nodded. Then, he looked at Tai Tai he and said, Elder Tai, I'll have to trouble you to lead us to the blissful sect. I plan to continue comprehending celestial methods along the way. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, finally understood. As it turned out, Duan Lingtian wanted Tai Tai He to bring them to the blissful sect. Since Duan Lingtian had to comprehend celestial methods, he could not bring them to the blissful sect. No problem, it's just a small matter. Tai Tai He replied with a smile. He did not seem any different from before. However, upon closer inspection, one would notice a change in his expression. A hint of respect could be seen in Tai Tai He's eyes when he looked at Duan Lingtian. The reason he had such a change was naturally due to the strength Duan Lingtian had displayed earlier. In the past, Duan Lingtian was a prominent celestial alchemist whose alchemy skills surpassed ordinary Duke-grade celestial alchemists. Now that Duan Lingtian was a celestial king, it was only natural that Tai Tai He respected Duan Lingtian even more. Huan Duan Lingtian looked at Huan and said with a smile, "You're injured. You should stay and recuperate." "Brother Lingtian, let's go to the blissful sect first." "Let's go." Before Duan Lingtian could finish speaking, Huan interrupted him. "Brother Lingtian, I'll go with you. I don't want to be separated from you. As for recuperating, since Elder Tai will bring us there, I can recuperate along the way," Huan said with a serious expression on her face. Upon seeing this, Duan Lingtian could only smile wryly. He nodded helplessly. All right. After a while, Duan Lingtian bade farewell to Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Celestial sect, and asked Tai Tai He, the supreme elder of the Tai Celestial sect, to bring them to the blissful sect. Tai Tai He also brought Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect, along with him. The people from the Tai Celestial sect only regained their senses after Duan Lingtian and the others had left. When they regained their senses, an uproar broke out. Master Duan's trip to the blissful sect is bound to cause havoc. However, if Master Duan's actions shake the blissful sect's foundation, I'm afraid the sect won't let the matter rest if their quasi-celestial kings are hiding in the 6 southeastern regions. A quasi-celestial king? Do you think a quasi-celestial king from the blissful sect is a match for Master Duan? That's right. Based on Master Duan's strength, I'm afraid ordinary celestial kings aren't as strong as him. It's fine if the quasi-celestial kings from the blissful sect don't show up. Once they show up, Master Duan might kill them with a flip of his palm. I'm more curious about Master Duan's background. What kind of clan is capable of nurturing such a monstrous genius? The people from the Tai Celestial sect discussed among themselves. They were shocked by Duan Lingtian's monstrous strength. After all, everyone knew Duan Lingtian was not even 100 years old. Chapter 2897. A person who was not even 100 years old might be able to use some means to conceal the aura of his flesh and blood, so that others would not be able to discover that he was not even 100 years old. However, it was impossible for a person who was more than 100 years old to disguise himself as a person who was younger than 100 years old. At the very least, nobody in the spirit overarching heaven or the other Devata realms was capable of doing so. For this reason, no one thought Duan Lingtian was pretending to be younger than 100 years old. It's not hard to imagine how shocked the entire 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands will be once news of this spreads. That's right. I'm sure those who have met Master Duan wouldn't expect him to be so strong. It's a pity Master Duan is from a powerful clan in the central area, so he'll have to leave sooner or later. Otherwise, with Master Duan around, the Tai Celestial sect would be able to dominate the 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands. Don't overthink it. Don't forget that the formation between the borderlands and the central area has restrictions on celestial kings in the borderlands. It's impossible for celestial kings to stay in the borderlands for long. If I'm not mistaken, Master Duan should be leaving the Tai Celestial sect soon. After witnessing Duan Lingtian's strength, the high-ranking officials of the Tai Celestial sect realized Duan Lingtian was about to leave the Tai Celestial sect. The reason Master Duan is still in the Tai Celestial sect is because he wants to leave the Tai Celestial sect's celestial method, the immobilization king method, and the divine ability, the Eastern Purple Chi, to the Tai Celestial sect. Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Celestial sect, sighed inwardly. Based on the purple chi comes from the east and the immobilization king method, it seems like he'll be leaving soon. He's already mastered the purple chi comes from the east. As for the immobilization king method, I have a feeling it won't take long for him to master it as well. After all, this meant that the Tai celestial sect would lose a prominent celestial alchemist, who was a celestial king. Moreover, this prominent celestial alchemist was not an ordinary prominent celestial alchemist. His alchemy skills were even better than ordinary supreme celestial alchemists. After the alchemy conference, when Master Duan of the Tai celestial sect was widely acknowledged as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions, some people even said, in the borderlands, there was no other prominent celestial alchemist who could compare to Master Duan of the Tai celestial sect. Because of this, many people said, Master Duan of the Tai celestial sect could be considered the best prominent celestial alchemist in the borderland of the Southern Heaven Territory. However, such an outstanding prominent celestial alchemist would soon be leaving the Tai celestial sect. Just thinking about it made Bai Ping feel uncomfortable. Master Duan, I didn't expect this. I really didn't expect this. Sita Ming, the prominent celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, sighed emotionally when he thought about Duan Lingtian's display of strength. He did not even notice when the other 2 prominent celestial alchemists of the Tai celestial sect, Yang Chong and Yu Zhongjing, appeared next to him. I didn't expect Master Duan to be a celestial king, Yang Chong exclaimed. Monster! Yu Zhongjing spat out 2 short words. Although it was only 2 words, this evaluation was enough to show the shock that the events of today had left in his heart. Soon after, the people from the Tai celestial sect left one after another. At the same time, many people from the Tai celestial sect left the Tai celestial sect's estate to spread the news. It did not take long for this news to spread to Tai City. As time passed, it even spread to Thousand Spiders City and Martial Dragon City. The 3 largest cities in the wasteland were in an uproar. Naturally, most of them were skeptical. After all, while this news was shocking, it was also too unreal. Meanwhile, the people from the Thousand Spiders Celestial Sect and Martial Dragon Celestial Sect had also heard about it. Duan Lingtian, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, is not only an outstanding prominent celestial alchemist, but he's also a celestial king? How's that possible? I've met Master Duan of the Tai celestial sect before, and I'm certain he's not even 100 years old. It's already heaven-defying for him to have such achievements in alchemy. How can he be a celestial king? Fake news. It must be fake news. Whether it was the people from the Thousand Spiders Celestial Sect or the Martial Dragon Celestial Sect, when they heard the news, they thought it was fake news. Duan Lingtian played with Li Un, the old ancestor of the blissful sect. He even used a soul attack to destroy Lian's soul attack and killed Lian? Humph. If Duan Lingtian is really that strong, why didn't he save Hishan, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, during the alchemy conference? That's right. At that time, Duan Lingtian watched helplessly as Hishan was killed by Bai Wuji, the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect. During the alchemy conference, Duan Lingtian revealed his cultivation base. Although his innate talent in the celestial Tao is heaven-defying, he's only an overarching heavenly supreme celestial. The people from the Thousand Spiders Celestial Sect and the Martial Dragon Celestial Sect, who had attended the alchemy conference, as well as those who had heard about it, thought the news was fake. After all, there were too many suspicious points. Even Jian Xiaoluo, the sect leader of the Thousand Spiders Celestial Sect, and Chai Kongyu, the sect leader of the Martial Dragon Celestial Sect, shook their heads and smiled when they heard the news. He's a celestial king? Zhou Shuqiu, who was in the Thousand Spiders Celestial Sect, shook her head when she heard the news. She did not think it was credible at all. That was it. Although the news of Duan Lingtian killing Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, had spread in the wasteland, apart from the people from the Tai celestial sect, no one believed it. This was mainly because the people from the Thousand Spiders Celestial Sect and Martial Dragon Celestial Sect did not believe the news. Under the influence of the two major celestial sects, not many people believed the news spread by the Tai celestial sect was true. No one believes it. Humph. I've seen Master Duan's strength with my own eyes. He's a celestial king. How can the people from the Thousand Spiders celestial sect and Martial Dragon celestial sect not believe it? So what if they don't believe it? Do we have to beg them to believe it? It was only natural that the people from the Tai celestial sect were in a bad mood when they learned that outsiders did not believe the news. However, it's only natural that the people from the Thousand Spiders celestial sect and the Martial Dragon celestial sect don't believe it. After all, they didn't witness it with their own eyes. Moreover, no one recorded the scene of Master Duan killing Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect. Ordinary floating image pearls won't be able to record the scene. Only a Duke-grade celestial weapon floating image pearl would be able to record Lian's movements. That's right. Even a Duke-grade celestial weapon floating image pearl won't be able to record a celestial king's movements. Only a king-grade celestial weapon floating image pearl can record a celestial king's movements. The people from the Tai celestial sect continued to discuss the floating image pearls. Although many high-ranking officials in the Tai celestial sect possessed Duke-grade celestial weapon floating image pearls, none of them had thought of recording the scene. For this reason, many high-ranking officials from the Tai celestial sect regretted their decision. Why didn't they use their floating image pearls to record the scene? Their floating image pearls might not be able to record the scene where Duanling Tian killed Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect. However, their floating image pearls would still be able to record the scene where Lian used his soul attack. As long as they recorded the scene of Lian's death, they would not have to worry about people believing that Duanling Tian had killed Lian. The Thousand Spiders celestial sect and the Martial Dragon celestial sect said that they don't believe Master Duan is a celestial king. It seems to make sense. What's the reason? They said that if Master Duan is a celestial king, he wouldn't have watched as the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect was killed by Wuxia, the sect leader of the Profound Heaven celestial sect, during the alchemy conference. Why didn't I think of this before? Perhaps Master Duan thinks the old ancestor should pay with his life for killing the young sect leader of the Profound Heaven celestial sect? Is that why he didn't make a move? That's possible. Moreover, it's only a matter of time before he leaves the Tai celestial sect. Even if he can protect the old ancestor now, he can't protect the old ancestor forever. If he makes a move, Wuxia, the sect leader of the Profound Heaven celestial sect, will definitely be enraged. It's impossible for him to vent his anger on Master Duan. It's understandable why Master Duan didn't make a move. Meanwhile, Ping, the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, had a deep frown on his face. He had a confused expression on his face as well. Based on what Master Duan said, he was powerless to save the old ancestor. In other words, he was powerless to save the old ancestor. He didn't intend to see the old ancestor being killed by Wuxia, the sect leader of the Profound Heaven celestial sect. However, if that's the case, how did Master Duan become so strong? He's even stronger than an ordinary celestial king. Ping was conflicted when he thought of this. Forget it. Let's not think about it anymore. I'll just ask Master Duan when he returns. Chapter 2898. Duanling Tian was naturally unaware of the commotion in the wasteland after he left the Tai celestial sect and the wasteland. At this moment, Tai He, the supreme elder of the Tai celestial sect, was leading him to the blissful sect's estate in the Cross region. Along the way, he had been comprehending the Duke-grade celestial method, the immobilization king method, that he had won from the blissful sect. Once he mastered the immobilization king method, he would leave the borderlands and head to the central area. Naturally, one of the reasons he asked Tai He to bring him to the blissful sect was because he wanted to comprehend the immobilization king method. Another reason was that he did not want to exhaust his celestial origin energy during the journey. After using the consumable king-grade celestial weapon, his strength was comparable to an ordinary celestial lord. However, his strength was not permanent. As long as he consumed his celestial origin energy, his strength would continue to weaken until he returned to his original state. Now that I've only made one move, I feel like my celestial origin energy and soul are much weaker than before. Previously, my strength was comparable to an ordinary celestial lord. Now, I'm afraid I'm only comparable to a 10 Directions celestial king. Duan Lingtian sighed inwardly. A 10 Directions celestial king was the strongest celestial king. Although they were only a step away from becoming a celestial lord, the difference in strength was like heaven and earth. Nevertheless, with my current strength, I'm still able to do whatever I want in the 6 southeastern regions. With this thought in mind, Duan Lingtian felt relieved. For this reason, he focused on comprehending the Duke-grade celestial method, the immobilization king method, as soon as possible. While Duan Lingtian was comprehending the celestial method, Huaner was recuperating from her injuries. Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect, did not do anything at all. He followed Tai Tai He to the blissful sect's estate like a zombie. The sect must have learned about my ancestor's death by now, right? Ji Fan sighed inwardly with a bitter expression on his face. He did not feel sad about the death of his ancestor, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, Lien. He only felt that he was unlucky. Why did he follow Tai Tai He? After all, he was the one who had asked Tai He was the blissful sects. In the past, he still had some feelings for his grandmaster Lien. However, after Lien abandoned him and fled on his own, his feelings for Lien had completely vanished. Although he could understand Lian's actions at that time, if he was Lien, he would also do the same. However, he couldn't accept kneeling down to understand. Do you blissful sect? The encampment of the blissful sect was located in a lofty mountain range, surrounded by clouds and mist all year round. Apparently, the mist was the result of an illusory formation. On this day, the blissful sect's estate was in an uproar. Boom! Rumble! Without any warning, the entire blissful sect's estate trembled violently as though an earthquake had just taken place. What happened? This is an earthquake? Impossible. The blissful sect's estate is protected by many formations, and some of them are used to deal with earthquakes. Even if there's an earthquake, the estate won't be affected. Then what's going on? I don't know. In the blissful sect's encampment, many people flew out of their cultivation rooms and looked at each other in confusion. They had no idea what had happened. Brethren, it wasn't until an earth-shattering roar reverberated in the air, causing the eardrums of the blissful sect members to tremble. Only then did they realize what had just happened. Isn't that old ancestor Li Ping's voice? Based on his voice, it seems like something has happened to old ancestor Lien? It can't be right. Old ancestor Lien left the sect not long ago to look for Duan Lingtian in the Tai celestial sect in the wasteland. It's impossible for anyone in the wasteland to pose a threat to him, right? That's right. Unless Duan Lingtian is from a powerful clan in the central area and has a celestial king by his side, it's impossible for him to kill old ancestor Lien. When the high-ranking members of the blissful sect heard the angry roar, they realized that their other patriarch, Lien, might be in trouble. Otherwise, Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, would not be so angry. Let's go. Let's see what happened. Let's go. The high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, including the sect leader of the blissful sect, immediately flew toward the source of the thunderous voice. Although they did not know what had happened, they knew it was impossible for them to guess what had happened. Old ancestor Lien is in the blissful sect. Based on old ancestor Lian's reaction, it seems like something has happened to old ancestor Lien. Based on old ancestor Lian's soul pearl, it seems like something has happened to old ancestor Lien. Unless old ancestor Lien is dead, it's impossible for old ancestor Li Ping to know about old ancestor Lian's condition. Old ancestor Lien is dead? Although I hope it's not true, I'm sure it's the truth. We'll be able to confirm it once we meet old ancestor Li Ping. The high-ranking officials of the blissful sect discussed among themselves as they made their way to Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect. As for their expressions, they all had ugly expressions on their faces. If the blissful sect's patriarch Lien was really dead, it wouldn't be good news for the blissful sect. This meant that the blissful sect would lose their lives. The blissful sect would lose a 9 palaces celestial duke. Moreover, the 9 palaces celestial duke was the most likely person in the 6 southeastern regions to become a 10 directions celestial duke. If old ancestor Lian was dead, they would lose a 10 directions celestial duke in the near future. This was a heavy blow to the blissful sect. When the disciples of the blissful sect realized that Lian, one of the 2 old ancestors of the blissful sect, might be in trouble, their expressions turned grim and unsightly. At this moment, the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect finally arrived at the place where old ancestor Li Ping cultivated. There were 2 old ancestors in the blissful sect. They were Li Ping and Lian based on their names. It seemed more like they were brothers. But in reality, the 2 of them weren't blood brothers. They were just cousins, however. After so many years of mutual support, the relationship between the 2 of them had long surpassed the category of cousins. It was comparable to or even better than blood brothers. For this reason, they cared deeply about each other. Senior uncle, what's going on? The sect leader of the blissful sect was a middle-aged monk dressed in a red kasaya. He was tall and burly, and his face was as fair as jade. The high-ranking officials of the blissful sect followed closely behind him. Old ancestor. Everyone bowed and greeted the person in front of them. A skinny old man stood in front of them. His robes fluttered in the wind, and his celestial origin energy surged out of his body like flames. He stared at the shattered soul pearl in his hand, and his eyes widened in anger. Anyone who stood in front of him would be able to sense the old man's rage. The old man ignored the greetings from the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. After a while, he raised his head slightly and looked at the sect leader of the blissful sect with bloodshot eyes. Konger, your master is dead. This is your master's soul pearl. Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, spoke in a trembling voice. It was clear he was trying to suppress the anger in his voice when he spoke. Master, Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, knelt on the ground with a sorrowful expression on his face when he heard Li Ping's confirmation. What's going on? What the hell is going on? Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, slammed his palms on the ground as tears streamed down his face. I want to know, where's brother An now? Li Ping glanced at the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect and asked in a deep voice. Based on brother An's shattered soul pearl, it seems like he's been dead for quite some time. Before I entered closed-door cultivation, I think he went to the barren land to participate in the alchemy conference. Li Ping's gaze fell on Lu Xiankong as he finished speaking. Because of this, Li Ping went into seclusion for a period of time, so he did not know that Lian had returned after participating in the alchemy conference. Senior uncle, Lu Xiankong did not dare to slack off when he heard Li Ping's question. He truthfully told Li Ping everything that had happened. A prominent celestial alchemist, who's able to refine overarching heaven pills before he's even 100 years old? He's widely acknowledged as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions after the alchemy conference. Moreover, he's an overarching heaven supreme celestial, and such a person is just an ascender who has just ascended from the mundane realm. Li Ping was dumbfounded when he heard Lu Xiankong's words and learned that the Taiyi celestial sect in the wasteland had a revered celestial alchemist named Duan Lingtian. At this moment, Li Ping had even forgotten about his cousin's death. He looked at Lu Xiankong and asked in a deep voice, "So brother An went to the Taiyi celestial sect in the wasteland to kill him?" "Yes." Lu Xiankong nodded. Fool! Li Ping's eyes widened when he saw Lu Xiankong nodding. "Even if he's an ascender, you should at least investigate his background in the spirit overarching heaven, right? There are many powerful forces in the spirit overarching heaven that have legacies in the mundane realm." Li An's voice grew colder as he spoke. "Senior uncle," Lu Xiankong smiled bitterly. "If he really has a powerful background, I'm afraid he would have been taken away as soon as he ascended. We've looked into it. He's been working hard all this time without any external help." Chapter 2899. Senior uncle, if he really has a powerful background, Do you think he'll let the compassionate celestial traveler sect's elder off the hook? Do you think the sect behind him would let the matter rest? How could the elder from the compassionate celestial traveler sect still be alive? Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, said with a wry smile as he looked at his senior uncle Li Ping, who was one of the two old ancestors of the blissful sect. Then, Lu Xiankong revealed the information the blissful sect had gathered about the Duan Lingtian. All the evidence points to the fact that the Duan Lingtian doesn't have a powerful background. It was precisely because of this that we unanimously decided to eliminate him. After he made up his mind, he said he wanted to kill Duan Lingtian personally, so he brought Ji Fan to the wasteland. Lu Xiankong said. As he spoke, Lu Xiankong seemed to recall something. He raised his hand, and a soul orb appeared in his hand. It was completely intact. Ji Fan is still alive, Lu Xiankong exclaimed when he saw the soul pearl in his hand. It was as though he had discovered a new continent. Is this the Arhat soul pearl? The Arhat soul pearl is intact. This means he's still alive. I didn't expect the Arhat, who went to the wasteland with old ancestor, Lian is still alive. What happened to them? Why is the Arhat still alive when the powerful old ancestor Lian is dead? A commotion broke out among the high-ranking members of the blissful sect when they saw the soul orb that Lu Xiankong had taken out and told them it belonged to Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect. Fanner is still alive? Li Ping narrowed his eyes as he looked at the soul pearl in Lu Xiankong's hand. He asked in a deep voice, Kong, are you sure this is Fanner's soul pearl? Ji Fan was the grand disciple of his cousin. Lian had always doted on Ji Fan. Lian loved Ji Fan, the future sect leader of the blissful sect, as well as the future sect leader of the blissful sect. Lian was puzzled when he heard Ji Fan, who had gone to the wasteland with his cousin, was still alive. After all, this did not make sense. Senior uncle, Ji Fan is my last disciple. I won't mistake his soul orb. Even if I did, none of the soul orbs in my hands are broken. Since Ji Fan's soul orb is among them, it means that he's still alive. Lian nodded. Li Ping nodded and continued. I still feel that this matter is very likely related to that Duan Lingtian. Although we're more than 90% certain that Duan Lingtian is just an ascender with no background, it's not completely foolproof. Lian's voice, Lian's words. Master Lian, what should we do now? Master is master? Lu Xiankong asked Lian asked Lord Master Lian Lu Xiankong's. Not for now. Li Ping shook his head in response to Lu Xiankong's question. His eyes flashed as he said in a low voice. Since Fan Er is still alive, he will definitely use an immortal message talisman to contact us when Brotherin dies. Let's wait for his communication celestial talisman. Lian said. Senior uncle, based on what you said, Master has been dead for some time. If Ji Fan sent a message back, it should be here by now. Lu Xiankong said warily. Is it possible that he used a communication celestial talisman, but was stopped by someone? That's possible. Lian said in a low voice. Based on Brother An's strength, there are very few people below the Celestial King realm in the 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands who are capable of taking his life. Therefore, it's very likely that a Celestial King or a quasi-celestial king made a move. Otherwise he wouldn't have died. Lian said. Could it be that Master wanted to annihilate the Tai-E celestial sect, so a quasi-celestial king from the Tai-E celestial sect came out and killed him? Lu Xiankong's expression changed when he thought of this possibility. Impossible. Li Ping shook his head. It's impossible for Brother An to annihilate the Tai-E celestial sect. After all, he's aware of the quasi-celestial king from the Tai-E celestial sect. Even if he really went to the Tai-E celestial sect, he would only target the Duan Lingtian, and not the Tai-E celestial sect. Li Ping knew Lian very well. After all, they had been together for so many years, and had supported each other for a long time. He believed that it was absolutely impossible for Lian to do something that he knew would lead to eternal damnation. Moreover, to a certain extent, Lian's personality was even more cautious than his. Even he would not do something like that, let alone Lian. At this moment, Lu Xiankong came back to his senses. He also felt that his master Lian would not do such a thing. The reason he said that just now was purely because he was anxious and did not think before speaking. Based on this, there's only one possibility. Li Ping's expression was grim as he speculated. Someone who's capable of blocking Fan Er's communication celestial talisman killed Brother An. Fan Er thought it was pointless to use the communication celestial talisman, so he didn't use it immediately. However, regardless of whether Fan Er is waiting for an opportunity to use the communication celestial talisman, or he's coming back to inform us of Brother An's death, we can only wait. So from now on we don't need to do anything, nor can we do anything. We can only wait. As long as Fan Er is still alive, he'll definitely come back to tell us what happened. After all, Li Ping was the longest living person in the blissful sect. Although he was enraged by Li An's death, he did not lose his cool. For a time, everyone from the blissful sect, including Lu Xiankong, agreed with Li Ping's words. Of course, even if they feel that Li Ping's words are unreasonable, they don't dare to say anything in front of Li Ping. At most, they will do some small actions behind his back. After all, Li Ping was not only the second old ancestor of the blissful sect, but he was also the strongest person in the sect, a 10 Directions celestial duke. That was all. Although the members of the blissful sect knew that their old ancestor, Lian, was dead, they didn't do anything. They waited patiently in the blissful sect, waiting for Ji Fan's return. For a period of time, the blissful sect was at peace. However, most of the members of the blissful sect knew that Lian was still alive. This was just the calm before the storm. Time flew by. In just a blink of an eye, a few months had passed. Although the blissful sect's estate was located in the Cross region, the distance between the wasteland and the barren land was much greater than the distance between the wasteland and the barren land. Duan Ling Tian and the others still managed to enter the Cross region with Tai Tai He. About a month after they entered the Cross region whoosh. Chapter 2900. Master Duan. Congratulations on completely mastering the Duke-grade celestial method, the immobilization king method. Tai Tai He congratulated Duan Lingtian with a smile on his face. Elder Tai, you can tell? Duan Lingtian was slightly taken aback. I can't tell. However, Arhut Ji Fan can tell. Tai Tai He replied. Duan Lingtian instinctively glanced at Ji Fan, causing Ji Fan to feel extremely nervous. It was as though he was a prey that had sensed the gaze of a hunter. Duan Lingtian only glanced at Ji Fan for a moment, before he shifted his gaze to Huan Er. Then, he extended his divine consciousness and probed Huan Er's body. The divine consciousness of a 10 Directions celestial king was comparable to the divine consciousness of a 10 Directions celestial king. Therefore, it was not difficult for Duan Lingtian to confirm that Huan Er had fully recovered from her injuries. At this moment, Huan Er was also comprehending celestial methods and divine abilities. A month's time was neither too long nor too short. However, for Duan Lingtian and the others, it was over in just a blink of an eye. Elder Tai. It was still a few days before they would arrive at the blissful sex estate. At this moment, Duan Lingtian finally woke up from his cultivation. He looked at Tai Tai He and said, "Just send us to the blissful sex estate." Before Tai Tai He could reply, Duan Lingtian continued to say, "I don't want to have anything to do with the Tai Yi celestial sect when I go to the blissful sect. You should understand what I mean, right?" Duan Lingtian looked at Tai Tai He meaningfully when he finished speaking. "Master Duan," Tai Tai He said, "I know you're doing this because you don't want the blissful sect to think that you're going there as the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Yi celestial sect. You don't want to cause trouble for the Tai Yi celestial sect. Even if you're the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Yi celestial sect, the blissful sect won't dare to do anything to the Tai Yi celestial sect." Tai Tai He's confidence in the Tai Yi celestial sect was apparent. Create havoc in the blissful sect? Duan Lingtian shook his head when he heard Tai Tai He's words. Then, a cold glint flashed in his eyes as he said bluntly, "I'm going to destroy the blissful sect's foundation. If everything goes according to plan, the blissful sect will no longer exist in the borderlands of the Southern Heaven Territory." As he spoke, Duan Lingtian's lips curled into a cold smile. Hiss! As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, Tai he couldn't help but gasp. When he looked at Duan Lingtian again, there was a hint of panic in his eyes. He had thought Duan Lingtian was going to create havoc in the blissful sect. He did not expect that Duan Lingtian would destroy the blissful sect's foundation. When he went to the blissful sect, it was no different from annihilating the blissful sect, right? Swoosh. Ji Fan, the arhat of the blissful sect, had a grave expression on his face when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. His thoughts were similar to Tai He's. However, when he heard Duan Lingtian's words, his heart skipped a beat. If Duan Lingtian really intended to destroy the blissful sect's foundation, he, the arhat of the blissful sect, would definitely die. Master Duan, after I return to the blissful sect with you, I'll announce to everyone that I'm leaving the blissful sect. Ji Fan took a deep breath as various emotions flashed across his face. In the end, he gritted his teeth and made his decision. Then, he expressed his stance to Duan Lingtian. Arhat, you're a smart person. Duan Lingtian was taken aback when he heard Ji Fan's words. Then, he looked at Ji Fan meaningfully and said, if you're really determined to do so, I don't mind writing off the enmity between us. Duan Lingtian did not have a good impression of Ji Fan. However, he was impressed by Ji Fan's decisiveness earlier. After all, not everyone in Ji Fan's position could make such a decision in such a short time. Thank you, Master Duan. Ji Fan heaved a sigh of relief. After he heaved a sigh of relief, he looked at Duan Lingtian and asked cautiously, Master Duan, did you plan to kill me after we returned to the blissful sect? Yes, I did. Duan Lingtian nodded and did not deny Ji Fan's words. Ji Fan broke out in cold sweat. At the same time, he was even more determined to cut ties with the blissful sect. Master, I'm sorry. I have no choice but to betray the blissful sect for my own life. Ji Fan thought to himself as he looked in the direction of the blissful sect's estate. Ji Fan's master was none other than Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect. Master, please don't blame me. If you want to blame someone, blame the people in charge of collecting information. If they didn't say Duan Lingtian was just a transcender, Grandmaster wouldn't have died, and the blissful sect wouldn't have fallen into such a predicament. Ji Fan's mind raced as he thought about what he should do in the future. Arhat. A thought appeared in Duan Lingtian's mind as he looked at Ji Fan again. Master Duan, you can call me Ji Fan from now on. I've decided to leave the blissful sect, so I'm no longer the arhat of the blissful sect. Ji Fan smiled wryly. After he finished speaking, he asked anxiously, Master Duan, is there anything I can help you with? You should have a Duke-grade celestial artifact floating image pearl, right? Duan Lingtian asked as he looked at Ji Fan. Yes. Ji Fan nodded. In a few days, when we arrive at the blissful sect, use the floating image pearl to record the scene when the 10 Directions Celestial Duke makes his move. Duan Lingtian said. I'll need the floating image pearl later. Yes. Then he asked Duan Lingtian. Master Duan, the blissful sect's 10 Directions Celestial Duke is my senior granduncle. He's also my grandmaster's cousin. I know a lot about him, including some of his techniques. Do you need me to tell you about them? Ji Fan asked after he reached the end of his sentence. Alas, it seemed like his attempt to flatter Duan Lingtian was futile. Upon hearing Ji Fan's words, Duan Lingtian shook his head disdainfully. There's no need for me to know about him. And I'm not interested in knowing about him. A mere 10 Directions Celestial Duke isn't worthy of my attention. When Duan Lingtian reached the end of his sentence, a hint of contempt could be heard in his tone. It was as though he was insufferably arrogant. Faced with Duan Lingtian's insufferably arrogant attitude, Ji Fan and Tai he felt it was only natural. After all, they had witnessed the strength Duan Lingtian had displayed in the Tai Celestial sect earlier. I've spoken out of turn. With your strength, you don't need to worry about a mere 10 Directions Celestial Duke. The moment Duan Lingtian's words left his mouth, Ji Fan chimed in with a humble expression on his face. A few days later, Master Duan, the blissful sect's estate is just ahead, Ji Fan said to Duan Lingtian, as he pointed at the mountains shrouded in mist. Duan Lingtian nodded. Then he looked at Huan who was still comprehending her celestial methods and divine abilities. It was obvious she would not wake up anytime soon. He said to Tai Tai, Elder Tai, stay here and take care of Huan. I'll come out once I'm done with my business. You don't have to worry about anyone attacking you. I'll keep an eye on this area with my divine consciousness. Duan Lingtian said. Yes, Master Duan. Although Tai Tai he wanted to see Duan Lingtian destroy the Blissful Sect's foundation, he had no choice but to obey Duan Lingtian's orders. In the past, he had treated Duan Lingtian like a friend. However, ever since he witnessed Duan Lingtian's strength as a celestial king, he had begun to fear and respect Duan Lingtian, even though he still treated Duan Lingtian the same as before. He completely regarded Duan Lingtian as a superior who was above him. Ji Fan lead the way. Duan Lingtian looked at Ji Fan. Then, under Tai Tai's watchful eyes, both of them stepped into the fog and entered the lofty mountain range. Although the mountain range was surrounded by formations, Duan Lingtian was no match for Duan Lingtian. However, these formations were nothing to Ji Fan, the Arhat of the Blissful Sect. He led Duan Lingtian through the formations and entered the Blissful Sect's estate as though there was no one there. Who's there? As soon as Duan Lingtian and Ji Fan entered the Blissful Sect's estate, a few patrolling disciples from the Blissful Sect flew toward them. However, when they saw who it was, they hurriedly bowed humbly. Greetings, Arhat. Ji Fan was the Arhat of the Blissful Sect. If there were no mishaps, he would be the next sect leader of the Blissful Sect. For this reason, his status in the Blissful Sect was only second to a few people from the Blissful Sect. Boom! The Blissful Sect's disciples who bowed to Ji Fan did not expect Ji Fan would launch a thunderous attack on them. Ji Fan raised his hand and struck with his palm. After images filled the sky and killed the Blissful Sect's disciples in just a blink of an eye. Is that the Arhat? Why is the Arhat killing people? Those people were bowing to him, right? Some of the Blissful Sect's disciples who were patrolling the area were about to pay their respects to Ji Fan when they witnessed how Ji Fan had killed the Blissful Sect's disciples. That scene continuously shocked their eyes, causing them to tremble with fear. Swoosh! In just a blink of an eye, Ji Fan appeared above the Blissful Sect's estate. I, Ji Fan, hereby announce that from today onward, I'm no longer a disciple of the Blissful Sect. Chapter 2901. I, Ji Fan, hereby announce that I'm leaving the Blissful Sect. I'm no longer an Arhat or a disciple of the Blissful Sect. Everyone in the Blissful Sect's estate was alerted by Ji Fan's voice. This was especially true for the disciples who had witnessed Ji Fan stepping out of the Blissful Sect. They looked at each other in confusion when they heard Ji Fan's announcement. They had no idea what was going on at all. When they saw the Arhat of the Blissful Sect killing a fellow disciple, they had a hunch that something was amiss. Now that they heard Ji Fan was leaving the Blissful Sect, they were dumbfounded. Who could tell them what was going on? What the hell was going on? What was the Arhat of the Blissful Sect doing? Who's that person? I think he came with the Arhat. I've never seen him before. I don't think he's a member of the Blissful Sect. Could it be that he has something to do with the Arhat's announcement? Soon after, the patrolling disciples from the Blissful Sect discovered Duan Lingtian's presence. Duan Lingtian stood there calmly without any expression on his face. However, when the Blissful Sect's disciples saw Duan Lingtian's composure, they could not help but think he was a mysterious person. Ji Fan is back. Is he out of his mind? Does he know what he's saying? How dare he say he's leaving the Blissful Sect? What the hell is he doing? If sect leader hears this, he'll be so angry that he'll vomit blood, right? Ji Fan is behaving strangely. Under normal circumstances, he wouldn't do such a thing. Could it be that he's being coerced? The high-ranking officials of the Blissful Sect came out of their cultivation chambers, one after another, when they heard Ji Fan's announcement. As they whispered and discussed, they looked at each other and saw the confusion in each other's eyes and faces. Is that really the Arhat's voice? I think so. He's back. The sect leader and the others have been waiting for him for a long time now. However, I'm afraid the sect leader and the others didn't expect him to announce his intention to leave the Blissful Sect as soon as he returned, right? I heard that the Arhat went out with Patriarch Lian. Patriarch Lian died outside, but the Arhat survived. He had no idea either. What the hell is going on? I feel that the Arhat is acting a little strange. Could it be that his abnormality has something to do with Patriarch Lian's death? Many disciples of the blissful sect whispered among themselves. They all felt that Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect, was acting abnormally. The blissful sect was in an uproar because of Ji Fan's words. Ji Fan! A thunderous voice resounded in the blissful sect's estate, causing the eardrums of the members of the blissful sect to tremble. Not only was this voice as deafening as a thunderclap, any normal person would be able to hear the anger contained within it. It's the sect leader's voice. Most of the people in the blissful sect recognized the owner of the voice immediately. It was none other than Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect. It seems like the sect leader is very angry. How can he not be angry? The Arhat is his direct disciple, and yet, he publicly announced his intention to leave the blissful sect. If I were him, I would be furious no matter what the reason is. It's understandable for the sect leader to be angry. Naturally, most of the people in the blissful sect could understand Lu Xiankong's anger. Boom! Rumble! As soon as Lu Xiankong's thunderous voice resounded in the blissful sect's estate, a tall figure shot out of the blissful sect's estate at lightning speed. Moreover, due to the speed of the figure, wherever it passed, even space trembled. Rumbling sounds that sounded like mountains were collapsing, and the earth cracked open resounded everywhere. He's Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect? If it was before, no matter how hard Duan Ling Tian tried, he would not have been able to see the sect leader of the blissful sect. After all, the sect leader of the blissful sect was a 9 palaces celestial duke. Although the sect leader of the blissful sect was slightly weaker than Lian, he was still a 9 palaces celestial duke. He was not someone ordinary celestial dukes could compare to. As Duan Ling Tian narrowed his eyes, Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, began to slow down. In the end, he looked like a crawling snail as he appeared in front of Duan Ling Tian. Naturally, Lu Xiankong's speed had not slowed down. Duan Ling Tian had taken this matter seriously. At this moment, Duan Ling Tian's strength was comparable to a 10 directions celestial king. Even if a 9 palaces celestial duke moved at full speed, he would still be as slow as a snail in Duan Ling Tian's eyes. More people are coming. Duan Ling Tian saw Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect. Many people had gathered around the blissful sect's encampment, and they followed behind Lu Xiankong as they sped through the air toward Nietian. After a while, Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, was the first to arrive at Duan Ling Tian's location. Ji Fan, do you have any idea what you just said? After Lu Xiankong appeared, he looked at Ji Fan from afar and asked coldly with a dark expression. Master! When Ji Fan saw Lu Xiankong, he instinctively wanted to address Lu Xiankong as master, just like in the past. However, as soon as he opened his mouth, he recalled that he had announced his departure from the blissful sect. When he thought about what would happen to the blissful sect, he could not help but feel bitter. Therefore, he kept his mouth shut. Facing Lu Xiankong's question, Ji Fan did not say a word. It was as if he had not heard Lu Xiankong at all. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. It did not take long for a group of people to appear behind Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, to arrive. These people were none other than the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. Ji Fan, didn't you hear the sect leader's question? Ji Fan, have you grown a pair of wings after leaving the sect? Not only did you not bow to the sect leader, but you even dared to ignore the sect leader's words? Ji Fan, are you crazy? Did you just say that you're leaving the sect? Ji Fan, no matter how remorseful you are, I won't allow you to continue being the Arhat of the blissful sect. That's right. The next sect leader of the blissful sect can't have such a stain on his record. As soon as the blissful sect's high-ranking members showed up, they began to lash out at Ji Fan, their faces filled with anger. Some of them even gnashed their teeth as they glared at Ji Fan. It was as though they could not wait to tear Ji Fan into pieces and swallow him alive. It had to be said that Ji Fan felt immense pressure when the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect began to reprimand him. However, when Ji Fan recalled the strength of the purple-clad young man standing behind him, he calmed down. The pressure from the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect was nothing compared to the pressure from the purple-clad young man. Master Duan, he's Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect. Instead of bowing to the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, Ji Fan turned to look at Duan Lingtian, who was standing nearby, and pointed at Lu Xiankong. As for the other old ancestor of the blissful sect, Li Ping, the 10 Directions Celestial Duke, hasn't shown himself yet. Before the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect could react, Ji Fan continued to speak. Ji Fan, how dare you? As soon as Ji Fan finished speaking, Lu Xiankong flew into a rage. He glared at Ji Fan with unparalleled fury. Ji Fan, not only did you call your master by his name, but you even called the old ancestor by his name. This is disrespectful. Ji Fan, are you seeking death? Ji Fan, according to the sect's rules, you should be severely punished for disrespecting your elders. That's right. You must be severely punished. Don't think you'll be able to leave the sect just because you want to. You were groomed by the sect. You'll need the sect's permission to leave. After Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, regained their senses one after another. Their faces were flushed with anger, and it seemed as though they were on the verge of exploding at any moment. However, Ji Fan turned a deaf ear to Lu Xiankong and the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. Instead, he turned to look at Duan Lingtian respectfully and made an inviting gesture. Duan Lingtian took a step forward and slowly walked past Ji Fan to stand in front of him. At this moment, Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, shifted their attention from Ji Fan to Duan Lingtian. At the same time, their divine consciousness shrouded Duan Lingtian, clearly trying to pry into Duan Lingtian's strength. Duan Lingtian was not bothered by this. Although he could use his powerful divine consciousness to force the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect to retreat, he did not do so. He could not be bothered to waste his time. For this reason, although the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect could not pry into Duan Lingtian's cultivation base, they could still sense the faint aura of Duan Lingtian. This purple-clad young man is not even 100 years old. A purple-clad young man who's not even 100 years old? Moreover, Ji Fan addressed him as Master Duan. Could he be the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, Duan Lingtian? He's Duan Lingtian. Upon confirming that the purple-clad young man was younger than 100 years old, a commotion broke out among the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. At the same time, they could vaguely guess the purple-clad young man's identity. Chapter 2902. Duan Lingtian? He's Duan Lingtian? So, he's the one who's not even 100 years old, but is widely acknowledged as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions? He's the target old ancestor Lian went to the wasteland to deal with? He's still alive. Moreover, he came to the blissful sect with Ji Fan? What's going on? Why did Ji Fan bring him back? The high-ranking officials of the blissful sect were in an uproar when they figured out Duan Lingtian's identity. Most of them were confused by Duan Lingtian's appearance in the blissful sect's estate. Moreover, Duan Lingtian had come with Ji Fan, the Arhat of the blissful sect. You're Duan Lingtian, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect? Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, asked in a deep voice as he looked at Duan Lingtian coldly. I heard from Ji Fan that all of you have decided to kill me, right? Duan Lingtian did not reply to Lu Xiankong's question. Instead, he asked indifferently, what are you talking about? Why are you here? My master was killed by your people? An ominous feeling rose in Lu Xiankong's heart when he saw Duan Lingtian, and thought about Ji Fan's unusual behavior. No. Duan Lingtian shook his head and denied Lu Xiankong's question. No. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Lu Xiankong looked at Duan Lingtian solemnly. Based on Duan Lingtian's gaze, he could tell Duan Lingtian was not lying. Lu Xiankong felt relieved when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, overestimated himself and tried to kill Master Duan. In the end, he was killed by Master Duan instead. Ji Fan said. It was as though the blissful sect had turned against Duan Lingtian. As soon as Ji Fan finished speaking, the entire place fell into a dead silence. Even the disciples of the blissful sect, who had rushed over to join in the fun, were stunned when they heard Ji Fan's words. The people from the blissful sect looked at each other speechless. In the end, an old monk wearing a silver kasaya standing behind Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, snapped out of his daze. He looked at Ji Fan and sneered. Ji Fan, do you really think we're 3-year-old kids? You're saying that this brat who's not even 100 years old killed Patriarch Lian? How laughable. Ridiculous. As he spoke, the old monk's face was filled with disbelief. Crazy. This Ji Fan is really crazy. When he announced that he's leaving the blissful sect, I thought that he's crazy. It seems like he's really out of his mind. I really don't know what happened to him. I can't believe he's spouting such nonsense. He's not even 100 years old. It's already good enough for him to become an overarching heavenly supreme celestial. How could such a person kill Patriarch Lian? Only a fool would believe that. After a while, more and more people from the blissful sect regained their senses. However, when they regained their senses, they thought Ji Fan had lost his mind. I've lost my mind? Ji Fan sneered inwardly when he heard their words. However, he did not bother to explain himself. After all, he knew there was no way it would work. No matter how he explained, it was useless. Before this alchemist Duan in front of him made a move, his former fellow disciples would never believe that this alchemist Duan had the ability to kill Lian. I've gone against the blissful sect and cooperated with Duan Lingtian. I hope he'll spare my life after he destroys the blissful sect's foundation. Ji Fan prayed inwardly as he looked at Duan Lingtian. After all, Duan Lingtian could easily kill him with just a thought. Shut up. When Duan Lingtian heard the disdainful words of the people from the blissful sect, he grew impatient and said coldly, Stop it. His voice was laced with celestial origin energy that shrouded the area within a radius of 1,000 meters, including the people from the blissful sect. Immediately, a terrifying sound wave spread out in the void. It was like a ripple that reverberated in the void within 1,000 meters. This was also because Duan Lingtian had intentionally limited the range of the sound waves to within a radius of 1,000 meters to ensure the destructive power of the sound waves. The next moment, wah, pfff. As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, a series of shrill cries and the sound of people throwing up blood reverberated in the air again. The voices belonged to none other than the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. As for the disciples of the blissful sect, they began to bleed from the 7 orifices on their faces. Soon after, their corpses fell from the sky like rain. Dead. All dead. At this moment, the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, including Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, scanned the area with their divine consciousness and discovered the disciples of the blissful sect were all dead. Some of them were peak overarching heavenly supreme celestials, but none of them survived. At this moment, only the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, who were at least celestial dukes, survived. Many of the high-ranking officials with weaker cultivation bases had their eardrums ruptured, and some of them were bleeding from the 7 orifices on their faces. However, their injuries were not fatal. With just a single shout, the blissful sect's disciples who had come to watch the show were all killed. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. At this moment, the expressions of the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect changed drastically. When he looked at Duan Lingtian again, his eyes were filled with fear and dread. Even Lu Xiankong, a 9 palaces celestial duke, looked at Duan Lingtian with a hint of fear in his eyes. Although Lu Xiankong was capable of creating such a powerful sound wave as well, he was not confident in his ability to do so. However, even if he could create such a powerful sound wave, he knew he would not be able to do it as easily as Duan Lingtian had done. He's definitely stronger than me. In fact, even an ordinary 10 directions celestial duke might not be as strong as him. Is it possible that he's already a quasi-celestial king? At this moment, a few thoughts flashed in Lu Xiankong's mind. He even speculated that Duanling Tian was a quasi-celestial king. It seems like he's the one who killed Master. After witnessing Duanling Tian's strength, even Lu Xiankong was no longer dismissive of Ji Fan's words. Lu Xiankong and the other high-ranking officials from the blissful sect were looking at Duanling Tian with a fearful expression on their faces. The atmosphere was tense. Boom! Rumble! A series of earth-shattering explosions reverberated through the blissful sect's estate, causing it to shake violently again. What's going on? What's going on now? In the blissful sect's estate, the disciples who were lucky enough to survive because they did not join Duanling Tian's battle were shocked by the commotion in the blissful sect's estate. Boom! Rumble! Unlike the commotion caused by the death of Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, this time, the commotion lasted for a long time. It even attracted the attention of Duanling Tian and the others. This commotion. Duanling Tian shifted his gaze to the depths of the blissful sect's estate as he extended his divine consciousness to cover the area. Interesting. After a while, a faint smile appeared on Duanling Tian's face. It was as though he had discovered something interesting. Boom! Rumble! The tremors in the blissful sect's estate lasted for a full 15 minutes before it finally stopped. Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Soon after, a burst of hearty laughter rang out from the depths of the blissful sect's estate. I, Li Ping, have finally broken through and become a celestial king. Then a loud and old voice rang in the air. In just a blink of an eye, everyone in the blissful sect's estate heard it. A deathly silence descended upon the blissful sect's estate. A few moments later, the silence in the blissful sect's estate was replaced by an uproar. Did I hear wrongly? Old ancestor Li Ping said. He broke through to the immortal king level? Old ancestor Li Ping has become an immortal king. The blissful sect hasn't had an immortal king for 10,000 years, right? This was the first time in 10,000 years that a celestial king had appeared in the blissful sect. Uncle Master, he broke through and became an immortal king? On the other hand, Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, who had initially thought Duanling Tian was a quasi-celestial king, was shocked when he heard Duanling Tian's words. Previously, he was still thinking, if Duanling Tian was truly a quasi-celestial king, even his senior uncle, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, might not be able to defeat him. In fact, he might not even be a match for his opponent. Currently, his senior uncle had just broken through and become a celestial king. This caused him to feel a wave of excitement, and the haze in his heart was swept away. Fanner is back? A few moments later, a powerful divine consciousness swept out and shrouded the entire blissful sect's estate. Then, the old voice rang in the air again. It was obvious that the owner of the voice had also discovered Ji Fan. Master Duan, the voice belongs to the other old ancestor of the blissful sect, Li Ping. Ji Fan said to Duanling Tian at this moment. A hint of panic and dread could be seen in his eyes as he said, he seems to have broken through and become a celestial king. Upon hearing this, Ji Fan's eyes narrowed as he stared at Duanling Tian. He was very afraid to see fear in Duanling Tian's eyes, because that would also mean that Duanling Tian was extremely fearful. This meant that Duanling Tian was not confident he could defeat Li Ping, who had broken through and become a celestial king. Chapter 2903. Ji Fan stared at Duanling Tian intently. He could not wait to see how Duanling Tian would react after Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, had become a celestial king. At this moment, Ji Fan was extremely nervous. If Duanling Tian was no match for Li Ping, who had become a celestial king, Ji Fan would lose a layer of skin, even if he managed to survive this ordeal. Moreover, he would be ruining his own future, making it impossible for him to become the next sect leader of the blissful sect. Celestial king? Duanling Tian's expression remained unchanged when he heard Ji Fan's words. He looked in the direction where Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, had spoken. A faint smile appeared on his face. Ji Fan could sense Duanling Tian's confidence when he saw how calm Duan Lingtian was. He sighed in relief inwardly. Based on the current situation, it seemed like Duan Lingtian was not worried at all. It seemed like Duan Lingtian was not afraid of Li Ping, who had just become a celestial king. What's going on? Why are there so many casualties? A loud voice rang in the air again. It was clear the person had noticed the deaths of the blissful sect's disciples. He's here. Duan Lingtian narrowed his eyes. An old monk appeared in Lu Xuankong's line of sight. His speed was much faster than Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect. Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect. Before today, he was only a 10 directions celestial duke. Now he's a 1 basic celestial king. Duan Lingtian was not surprised when he saw the old monk's speed. After all, he knew the old monk was Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect. Li Ping was the strongest person in the blissful sect. In the past, Li Ping was only considered the strongest person in the blissful sect, since nobody knew if there were any quasi-celestial kings hidden in the 6 southeastern regions. However, now that Li Ping had become a celestial king, he was the strongest person in the blissful sect. Even if the blissful sect had quasi-celestial kings hidden in the 6 southeastern regions, they were still weaker than Li Ping. Perhaps, they were also celestial kings in the past. However, after staying in the borderlands for so long, they were affected by the formations in the borderlands and the central area. For this reason, their cultivation base had regressed to that of a 10 directions celestial duke. At that time, a celestial king was a celestial duke, a true celestial king. For this reason, Li Ping's celestial king was a quasi-celestial king hidden in the blissful sect. Swoosh. Senior uncle, congratulations for becoming a celestial king. As soon as Lu Xiankong saw the newcomer, he immediately congratulated the newcomer for breaking through and becoming a celestial king. Congratulations, old ancestor. Congratulations, old ancestor. As soon as Lu Xiankong finished speaking, the high-ranking members of the blissful sect regained their senses and congratulated Li Ping, who seemed to have appeared out of thin air. However, Li Ping ignored Lu Xiankong and the others' congratulatory words. He glanced at the corpses on the ground and said, "These are the disciples of the blissful sect?" Moreover, they were all killed by the sound waves. Li Ping was a celestial king now. Even before his breakthrough, he could easily discover the cause of death when he scanned the bodies of the blissful sect's disciples with his divine consciousness. Who can tell me what is going on? Li Ping muttered to himself in a high-pitched voice. The high-ranking officials of the blissful sect shuddered in fear when they heard Li Ping's words. As soon as Li Ping finished speaking, he noticed Ji Fan and Duan Lingtian standing in front of him. Li Ping was about to speak to Ji Fan when a voice rang in the air. "Old ancestor." An elder from the blissful sect standing behind Lu Xiankong cried out in grief. In the next moment, Li Ping's celestial origin energy surged out of his right hand as he pushed it toward Duan Lingtian. The palm seal was like a small mountain as it shot toward Duan Lingtian. Boom, 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 boom. When the palm seal passed by a celestial king, it was as though thousands of soldiers and horses were galloping toward Duan Lingtian. The sound of explosions reverberated in the air. Just as Li Ping's right hand was about to land on Duan Lingtian's body, Duan Lingtian was stunned. In the blink of an eye, at this critical moment, immobilization king. A layer of golden light rose from the surface of Duan Lingtian's body. In just a blink of an eye, it transformed into the silhouette of a golden Buddha that shrouded him completely. In the next moment, boom, rumble, a deafening explosion rang in the air as Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, struck the silhouette of the golden Buddha that had risen from Duan Lingtian's body. The terrifying force caused the silhouette of the golden Buddha to tremble. However, the silhouette of the golden Buddha remained standing even after the energy from the palm seal was depleted. It looked like a guardian deity who was loyal to Duan Lingtian. Immobilization king? Who are you? How do you know the blissful sect's celestial method? Although it was only a casual attack, Li Ping was still shocked that the purple-clad young man, who was not even 100 years old, was able to block his attack. However, there was another thing that caught his attention. The purple-clad young man's celestial method was none other than the Duke-grade celestial method, the Immobilization King. Moreover, looking at the immovable wisdom king that the other party used, it was obvious that he had comprehended this immortal technique to the extreme and had completely mastered it. Senior Uncle, Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the Blissful Sect, reminded Li Ping. He's the one who won the Immobilization King celestial method during the alchemy conference. He's the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, Duan Lingtian. Also, I suspect that, Master, he was most likely the one who killed him. Lu Xiankong's tone grew heavier as he spoke. What? He's the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect? That brat who's not even 100 years old, but is widely acknowledged as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions? Didn't you say he's just an overarching heavenly supreme celestial? Although Li Ping did not attend the previous alchemy conference, after Lian's death, he found out quite a bit about the alchemy conference. Among them, he knew about the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect. Chapter 2904. Lu Xiankong smiled wryly when he heard Li Ping's question. The high-ranking officials behind him could not help but smile wryly as well. You're asking me? Who am I supposed to ask? This was the first thought that appeared in the minds of Lu Xiankong and the others. Naturally, they did not dare to voice their thoughts out loud. Senior Uncle, Lu Xiankong smiled wryly and said, I didn't attend the alchemy conference. Master was the one who told me that Duan Lingtian, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, is only an overarching heavenly supreme celestial. That's right, old ancestor. The high-ranking officials from the blissful sect chimed in, as soon as Lu Xiankong finished speaking. Old ancestor Lian was the one who told us that. That's right. We haven't seen Duan Lingtian, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, so we can't be certain of his cultivation base. Old ancestor. Li Ping's expression darkened when he heard the words of the high-ranking officials from the blissful sect. He said angrily, Based on what you're saying, my dead brother should be held responsible for this matter? You won't even let a dead person off the hook? In the end, Li Ping's tone became incomparably cold. At the same time, Lu Xiankong and the others did not dare to say a word. When Li Ping saw that Lu Xiankong and the others had stopped talking, he turned around and looked at Duan Lingtian coldly. Before he said coldly, If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it if someone who's not even 100 years old could withstand my attack after I've broken through and become a celestial king. Since you're able to withstand my attack so easily, you're at least a 10 directions celestial duke. In fact, you might even be a quasi-celestial king, right? As he spoke, Li Ping's words were clearly meant to test Duan Lingtian. A quasi-celestial king? Duan Lingtian raised an eyebrow as a faint smile appeared on his face. Duan Lingtian's indifferent and casual appearance fell into Li Ping's eyes. For a moment, Li Ping's heart skipped a beat, and he became incomparably fearful. This Duan Lingtian, even though he knows that I've already broken through and become an immortal king, he's still so fearless. Li Ping was definitely the oldest person in the blissful sect. It was precisely because he had lived for so long and seen so much that he thought more. In his opinion, there were only 2 reasons why this purple-clothed young man could be so fearless at this time. The first reason was that he was deliberately mystifying. He wanted to use this kind of calm and indifferent attitude to make others fear him and not dare to rashly make a move against him. The second reason was that he had a powerful background, and he was not worried that the blissful sect would dare to touch him. The former was still fine. If it was the latter, the blissful sect would be annihilated even if he managed to kill the other party. Duan Lingtian. After thinking for a while, Li Ping took a deep breath, looked at Duan Lingtian and asked, My brother-in, was it you who killed him? Brother-in? Duan Lingtian was taken aback when he heard Li Ping's words. It's Lian. He's my cousin, Li Ping said in a deep voice. Lian? Duan Lingtian raised an eyebrow. Then he said indifferently, You're talking about him? That's right. He wanted to kill me, so I killed him. However, it seems like he's not the only one who wants to kill me. Many people in the blissful sect want to kill me as well. Duan Lingtian glanced at the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, including Lu Xiankong, before a sneer appeared on his face. That's why I'm in the blissful sect right now. I have a very bad habit, he said with a smile. Generally speaking, I don't want to let those who want to kill me live. As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, his voice that was originally calm suddenly became louder. A pair of calm eyes suddenly shot out bursts of cold killing intent. As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, Li Ping's expression changed drastically. The expressions of the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect changed drastically as well. After all, they knew Duan Lingtian was referring to them. Before Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, brought Ji Fan to the Tai-E celestial sect in the wasteland to kill Duan Lingtian, they had a meeting. At that time, they had unanimously agreed to kill Duan Lingtian. At that time, they had made the decision to kill Duan Lingtian, because they knew Duan Lingtian did not have a powerful background. But from the looks of it now, even if the other party didn't have any status or background, the decision they made in that meeting was extremely wrong. After all, Duan Lingtian was a 10 Directions celestial duke or a quasi-celestial king. Such a powerhouse was not someone the blissful sect could afford to offend. Fortunately, old ancestor Li Ping has successfully become a celestial king. Otherwise, he might not be a match for Duan Lingtian. God bless the blissful sect. If old ancestor Li Ping hadn't become a celestial king, the blissful sect would have been annihilated today. A quasi-celestial king won't care if we have a quasi-celestial king in the 6 southeastern regions. With old ancestor Li Ping's current strength, it won't be difficult for him to kill Duan Lingtian. The high-ranking officials of the blissful sect sighed in relief when they thought about Li Ping's current strength. At the same time, they were relieved that Li Ping had made a breakthrough at such a critical moment. They could only hope that Li Ping would kill Duan Lingtian. However, Li Ping had no intention of killing Duan Lingtian for the time being. In other words, he was still cautious. Duan Lingtian. Li Ping looked at Duan Lingtian and said in a deep voice, "Since you've killed my brother, why don't we put an end to this matter? I won't make a move against you anymore." Although Li Ping felt Duan Lingtian was only bluffing, he did not dare to take the risk. After all, if he lost, the blissful sect would be annihilated. Put an end to this matter? Duan Lingtian was slightly taken aback by Li Ping's words. However, he could not help but chuckle when he heard Li Ping's words. "I heard from Ji Fan that you didn't participate in the meeting that decided to kill me. Therefore, I won't kill you today, but I won't let any of them live." Duan Lingtian turned to look at Lu Xiankong and the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. Based on Ji Fan's words, these people had participated in the meeting that decided to kill Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian, our old ancestor, has already broken through and become a celestial king. He's being merciful by not killing you. If you continue to blabber on, our old ancestor will turn you into ashes. An elder from the blissful sect said coldly as he glared at Duan Lingtian. "That's right. If you want to kill us, you'll have to go through our old ancestor first." Another elder from the blissful sect chimed in. Although Lu Xiankong and the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect remained silent, based on their expressions, it was clear they viewed Li Ping as their savior. Moreover, they were confident Li Ping would be able to protect them with his current strength. "It seems like all of you really view Li Ping as your savior." Duan Lingtian smiled brightly when he heard Li Ping's words. Li Ping's heart skipped a beat when he saw Duan Lingtian's bright smile. He was even more wary of Duan Lingtian now. Duan Lingtian, they're the pillars of the blissful sect. If you kill them, the blissful sect will be annihilated. Li Ping looked at Duan Lingtian and said in a deep voice, "Naturally, the blissful sect is at fault. As long as you don't kill them, the blissful sect is willing to compensate you. As long as it's within our means, we'll compensate you." Based on Li Ping's words, it was clear he was willing to compromise. Naturally, there were two prerequisites. Duan Lingtian would not kill Lu Xiankong, and the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. After Li Ping had become a celestial king, he had planned to leave the borderlands and the 6 southeastern regions for the central area. In fact, he had already made up his mind before he had broken through. For this reason, he knew he couldn't stay in the blissful sect forever. And he didn't plan to stay here forever. After all, if he stayed, not only would his cultivation base decline to that of a celestial duke, but he would also become a quasi-celestial king. Moreover, even if he went to the central area, it would be difficult for him to make any further progress. If Duan Lingtian killed Lu Xiankong and the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, it would be equivalent to annihilating the blissful sect. Li Ping did not want to see that happen. Old ancestor! Old ancestor! As soon as Li Ping finished speaking, apart from Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, who seemed to have figured out Li Ping's concerns, the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect were puzzled. They wanted Li Ping to kill Duan Lingtian immediately. Everyone, haven't you thought about how Duan Lingtian is so calm and fearless in the face of the old ancestor, who has become a celestial king? Is it true that he has no background? He's a quasi-celestial king, and a 10 directions celestial duke, who's not even 100 years old. Does he really not have a powerful background? The old ancestor must be worried that killing Duan Lingtian would bring disaster to the blissful sect. The high-ranking officials of the blissful sect fell silent when they heard Lu Xiankong's voice transmission. After thinking about it carefully, it seemed like they had no other choice. After all, it was too risky to kill Duan Lingtian. I'm sorry. Duan Lingtian narrowed his eyes when he heard Li Ping's words. His eyes flashed coldly as he said, I came here today to kill them. Apart from that, I won't accept any compensation from the blissful sect. Li Ping, you can just stand by and watch. Chapter 2905. Li Ping, why don't you just stand by and watch? If you interfere, I, Duan Lingtian, don't mind killing one more person. When Duan Lingtian's voice entered the ears of the high-ranking officials from the blissful sect, it was as though a gust of cold wind had blown past them, causing them to shiver involuntarily. Fear rose in the hearts of the high-ranking officials from the blissful sect when they heard Li Ping's words. This was because the fact that Duan Lingtian dared to say such words at this moment proved that he had his own confidence. Although it was possible that Duan Lingtian was deliberately mystifying them, they still felt slightly uneasy in their hearts before they were 100% certain that he was deliberately mystifying them. You Duan Lingtian, don't mind killing one more person? Li Ping sneered when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. Duan Lingtian, the reason I'm willing to compromise is because I'm giving face to the force behind you. I'm not afraid of you at all. A hint of disdain could be heard in his voice as he spoke to Duan Lingtian. Is that so? Duan Lingtian asked calmly. His eyes narrowed as he looked at Li Ping. No matter what, I can't just watch you kill them. If you want to kill them, you'll have to get past me first. Li Ping said in a deep voice. As soon as he finished speaking, a majestic aura surged out of his body. The high-ranking officials from the blissful sect shuddered in fear when they saw Li Ping's aura. Even the high-ranking officials from the blissful sect felt pressured when they sensed Li Ping's aura. Only Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, who was the strongest among the high-ranking officials from the blissful sect, fared better. Boom, 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 boom. At this moment, Li Ping's celestial origin energy surged out of his body. His terrifying aura caused the high-ranking officials from the blissful sect to shudder in fear. Even the people in the blissful sect's estate could sense his aura. What a powerful aura. This aura is Patriarch Li Ping's. This is the aura of an immortal king expert? Similar discussions could be heard everywhere in the blissful sect's estate. Soon after, many of the blissful sect's disciples flew into the air and approached the area. However, even if they approached, they only dared to watch from afar. That is, what's going on? Why did so many people die? Isn't that senior brother Huang Bin? He's a peak overarching heavenly supreme celestial. How did he die here? As the group of blissful sect's disciples approached the scene, many of them discovered the corpses that littered the ground. They were the corpses of the blissful sect's disciples. They don't have any external wounds on their bodies, but almost all of them have blood stains on their 7 orifices. There are no external wounds, but blood is flowing out of his orifices. This doesn't seem like a soul attack. Rather, it seems more like a sound wave attack. Oh my God! Just a sound wave attack was enough to kill these senior brothers. What kind of powerful existence is the one who launched the sound wave attack? That kind of existence should be at least on the same level as Lord Sect Leader, right? A commotion broke out among the blissful sect's disciples when they saw the corpses littering the ground. However, after looking at the corpses for a while, they shifted their attention to the group of people standing in front of them. It's Lord Sect Leader. The elders are here as well. Is that old ancestor Li Ping? I think so. Based on the situation, it seems like old ancestor Li Ping is very wary of the purple-clad young man standing in front of him. Isn't the purple-clad young man standing next to the Arhat? Earlier, the Arhat announced that he's leaving the blissful sect. Is it possible that he's planning to join the purple-clad young man? Since the old ancestor, who has become a celestial king, is so wary of the purple-clad young man. This purple-clad young man isn't simple. Those senior brothers must have been killed by his sound wave attack. At this moment, the blissful sect's disciples shifted their gazes to Duan Ling Tian. A hint of dread could be seen in their eyes when they looked at him. After all, the masters of the corpses were much stronger than them. However, all of them were dead now. Many of the blissful sect's disciples instinctively retreated, afraid that the purple-clad young man would unleash another sound wave attack. It seems like the sect leader and the others have arrived a long time ago, but the old ancestor has just arrived. The sect leader and the others didn't make a move before the old ancestor arrived. The sect leader and the others didn't make a move even though so many of their disciples were killed. It seems like the purple-clad young man is very strong. Even the sect leader doesn't dare to make a move against him. Who's that purple-clad young man? Could he be a 10 Directions Celestial Duke? I've never heard of such a young 10 Directions Celestial Duke in the 6 southeastern regions before. Who's he? Since the old ancestor has decided to make a move, I'm sure he'll be severely injured even if he doesn't die. That's only natural. The old ancestor is no longer the same as before. He's now a celestial king. The blissful sect's disciples whispered among themselves as they speculated among themselves. They were certain the purple-clad young man was strong. Otherwise, the sect leader of the blissful sect and the others wouldn't have stood idly by as the purple-clad young man killed so many disciples of the blissful sect. Although they knew the purple-clad young man was stronger than Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, they were confident in their old ancestor Li Ping. After all, Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, had become a powerful celestial king. In the 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands, celestial kings had always been considered invincible. It seems like you're still trying to stop me. Duan Lingtian narrowed his eyes when he saw Li Ping's celestial origin energy surging out of his body. It was as though Li Ping had transformed into a god of war. As soon as Duan Lingtian opened his eyes, a cold glint flashed in his eyes. This flash of cold light was coincidentally caught by Li Ping. For a moment, Li Ping could not help but feel a chill in his heart. Is he not just a 10 Directions Celestial Duke, or a quasi-celestial king? As the chill rose in his heart, Li Ping's mind suddenly, without any reason, came up with such a thought. It took a long time for the thought to surface in his mind. Since you've chosen to stop me, I'll let you die with them. As soon as Duan Ling Tian finished speaking, an even more terrifying celestial origin energy surged out of his body. Chapter 2906. As soon as these thoughts appeared in Ji Fan's mind, boom, rumble. In just a blink of an eye, the purple energy from Duan Ling Tian's celestial origin energy collided with the golden Buddha silhouette that had emerged from Ji Fan's body like a torrential flood. In the next moment, bang. At the same time, the high-ranking members of the blissful sect heard a loud bang. Then, they clearly saw the scene before them. The golden Buddha silhouette surround Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, could not withstand Duan Ling Tian's purple energy at all. As soon as they came into contact with the purple energy, the golden Buddha silhouettes shattered instantly. No! When the golden Buddha's silhouette was destroyed by Duan Ling Tian's powerful force, Li Ping let out a cry of unwillingness. At the same time, a small bell appeared in his hand. As soon as he infused it with his celestial origin energy, it shone brightly. In the next moment, Duan Ling Tian could clearly see Li Ping's appearance. The small bell in Li Ping's hand, after being infused with his celestial core power, extended a series of complicated and obscure translucent runes in a timely manner. These runes merged with the silhouette of the huge bell that was shrouded in Li Ping's hand. In just a blink of an eye, runes began to appear on the smooth surface of the huge bell. These runes were none other than the small bell in Li Ping's hand. After leaving the small bell, the runes merged with the silhouette of the huge bell. A king-grade celestial weapon? Duan Ling Tian speculated that the small bell in Li Ping's hand was a king-grade celestial weapon. The blissful sect has 2 king-grade celestial weapons. One of them is in the possession of the 10 Directions Celestial Duke, while the other is in the possession of the sect leader of the blissful sect. Up until now, Duan Ling Tian still remembered the words of the sect leader of the Tai Yi Celestial Sect. For this reason, the other old ancestor of the blissful sect, Lian, did not possess a king-grade celestial weapon. Although Duan Ling Tian had killed him, he did not obtain a king-grade celestial weapon. Boom! Rumble! As soon as the mysterious runes were added to the huge bell, the purple energy from Duan Ling Tian's attack, the purple energy from Duan Ling Tian's divine ability, landed on the huge bell's silhouette. Boom! 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 Accompanied by a series of loud noises, the phantom of the huge bell shook. One could clearly see with the naked eye that the obscure runes on the phantom of the huge bell were fading at an extremely fast speed. Some of the runes faded for a while before completely disappearing. I didn't expect your divine ability to have such a strong defense after using a king-grade celestial weapon. Duan Ling Tian was surprised that Li Ping was able to give his divine ability such a strong defense. One must know that Li Ping's immovable wisdom king, in the blink of an eye, was defeated by his attack. Although Duan Ling Tian did not use his full strength, he was still able to defeat Lian. Although the power of his slap on the giant bell shadow outside Li Ping's body was somewhat offset by Li Ping's immortal technique immovable wisdom king, it was not much weaker than before. If Li Ping's body still had a layer of the golden Buddha shadow transformed by the Akalanatha, this power, at most, would only need to spend half a breath, or a breath's time to completely destroy him. But now, the giant bell shadow on Li Ping's body lasted for a few breaths of time. Based on the situation, Duan Ling Tian would only be able to defeat the silhouette and kill Li Ping after the runes on the bell's silhouette disappeared. Duan Ling Tian, I admit defeat. Duan Ling Tian, from today onward, I'm no longer the old ancestor of the blissful sect. I'm no longer a member of the blissful sect. I have nothing to do with the blissful sect. Let me go. Let me go. Li Ping's panicked voice rang in the air. Based on his words, it was clear he was willing to give up the blissful sect for his own life. After all, human nature was pragmatic. In the past, Li Ping might have done his best for the blissful sect. However, now that he was on the brink of death, he had made up his mind to give up his life. In particular, Li Ping had successfully broken through to the Celestial King stage. After leaving the borderlands and heading to the central area, he would have a bright future ahead of him. But once he died here, there would be nothing left. Everything would vanish into thin air. Moreover, if he died, the blissful sect's high-ranking officials would not be able to live as well. The blissful sect would be destroyed as well. At that time, no one would be able to praise him for sacrificing himself for the blissful sect. After thinking through all these, Li Ping still felt that his life was more important than anything else. It's too late. Hearing Li Ping's words that were filled with terror, Duan Ling Tian's expression remained calm, his gaze cold, and his tone indifferent. Bang! At the same time, the runes on Li Ping's gigantic bell disappeared. The gigantic bell that had lost its runes was completely destroyed by Duan Tian's attack, in just half a breath's time. Not even a speck of dust was left behind. In the next moment, boom, 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 boom. After Li Ping's 2 layers of defense were destroyed, Duan Tian's attack devoured Li Ping like a ferocious beast. Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, was a one basic celestial king. At this moment Li Ping was dead. Moreover, when Duan Tian's attack devoured Li Ping, the purple energy caused the space where Li Ping was standing to tremble. The sound of explosions rang in the air, as though it would never stop. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. At the same time, a strong gust of wind blew against the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, forcing some of the elders with weaker cultivation bases to retreat. Their faces turned pale from the gust of wind. Although the blissful sect's disciples were further away from the battle, most of them were sent flying by the strong wind due to their weaker cultivation bases. Some of them were even injured by the strong wind. In a battle between powerhouses, those with weaker cultivations within a certain radius were destined to be caught in the crossfire. This was unavoidable. Disperse. With just a thought from Duan Tian, the purple energy that was still wreaking havoc in the air dissipated. It was as though the purple energy had never appeared in the first place. At the same time, the tension in the air eased a little. Return. When Duan Tian raised his hand, a spatial ring and an exquisite little bell in the distant sky were pulled over by his energy. As expected, it's a king-grade celestial weapon. As soon as Duan Tian held the small bell, he was certain it was a king-grade celestial weapon. Not bad. On top of that, it can be used together with the blissful sect's defensive divine ability to boost its prowess. It should be able to be used with other defensive divine abilities as well. For example, my East Rising Purple Chi. With this thought in mind, purple energy began to surge out of Duan Tian's body. In just a blink of an eye, the purple energy formed a purple light shield around Duan Tian's body and enveloped him completely. In the next moment, Duan Tian tried to use the exquisite little bell in his hand. Inscriptions extended from the little bell and merged with the purple light shield, causing many clearly visible inscriptions to appear on the purple light shield. I wonder if this king-grade celestial weapon can strengthen the defense of a celestial method. With this thought in mind, Duan Tian cast the celestial method he had won from the blissful sect, the immobilization king method. The silhouette of a golden Buddha appeared around Duan Tian, shrouding the purple light shield as well. In the next moment, with just a thought in his mind, the rune that extended from the exquisite little bell in his hand instantly passed through the purple light shield and merged with the golden Buddha silhouette. Yes, Duan Tian's eyes lit up as soon as he saw this. Duan Tian could clearly see inscriptions on the silhouette of the golden Buddha. Apart from that, he could clearly sense the defensive strength of the silhouette of the golden Buddha was much stronger than before. It seems like this is a defensive king-grade celestial weapon, Duan Tian thought to himself as he looked at the small bell in his hand. Ever since Duan Tian had arrived in the spirit overarching heaven, he had studied the celestial weapons in the Devata realms. He knew the celestial weapons in the Devata realms were divided into several categories. Among them, defensive celestial weapons were most useful in enhancing one's defense. For example, the small bell in his hand was a perfect example. While Duan Tian was experimenting with the king-grade celestial weapon, the exquisite little bell, the high-ranking officials and ordinary disciples of the blissful sect did not even dare to move their bodies. All of them were looking at Duan Tian anxiously. At this moment, they were deeply afraid their actions would attract Duan Tian's attention and bring about a fatal disaster to themselves. After all, even the strongest old ancestor of the blissful sect, Li Ping, had been killed by Duan Tian. If this had happened before Li Ping had become a celestial king, they would not have feared Duan Tian, would annihilate the blissful sect, even if Duan Tian had killed Li Ping. After all, it was highly likely that the blissful sect still had quasi-celestial kings, hidden in the 6 southeastern regions. However, now that Li Ping, who had become a celestial king, was dead. They knew the purple-clad young man would not be afraid of the quasi-celestial kings, hidden in the 6 southeastern regions, because the strength of those quasi-immortal kings was even inferior to Li Ping, who had just died. Chapter 2907. Who is he? Just now, the old ancestor called him Duan Lingtian? Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian. Why does this name sound so familiar? Duan Lingtian? Isn't he the chief celestial alchemist of the Wasteland's Tai-yi celestial sect, who became famous during the alchemy conference? That's right. It's him. The chief celestial alchemist of the Wasteland's Tai-yi celestial sect is also called Duan Lingtian. No wonder his name sounds familiar. Is Duan Lingtian the same as Duan Lingtian? You're thinking too much. Put aside the fact that the chief celestial alchemist of the blissful sect is not even 100 years old. He's an outstanding prominent celestial alchemist, who's widely acknowledged as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions. Even if he's not a celestial alchemist, it's impossible for him to be so strong when he's not even 100 years old. That's right. Duan Lingtian is at least a celestial king. Moreover, he's not an ordinary celestial king. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to kill old ancestor Li Ping so easily. Old ancestor Li Ping even used the 10,000 talismans bell, one of the 2 sect-guarding celestial weapons of the blissful sect. Even then, he still couldn't block Duan Lingtian's attack. I'm afraid Duan Lingtian is at least a 3-talent celestial king. I agree. After all, Duan Lingtian didn't even use a celestial weapon when he attacked. In the distance, a group of blissful sect's disciples whispered among themselves as they looked at Duan Lingtian with a hint of fear in their eyes. Why did he come to the blissful sect? He won't attack us, right? If he attacks us, we'll definitely die. Someone like him won't bother to attack us, right? Since the disciples of the blissful sect did not know the purpose of Duan Lingtian's visit, they were afraid Duan Lingtian would attack them. After witnessing Duan Lingtian's strength, they knew Duan Lingtian's strength was not to be trifled with. If Duan Lingtian wanted to attack them, even the sect leader of the blissful sect would not be able to protect them. After all, even their old ancestor, who had just become a celestial king, had been killed by Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian's strength was the blissful sect of the blissful sect. If Duan Lingtian, Duan celestial, Duan Lingtian, now it's time to settle the score between us. Duan Lingtian ignored the disciples of the blissful sect. Instead, he looked at the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, led by Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect. As soon as Duan Lingtian's gaze landed on Lu Xiankong and the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, their expressions changed drastically. Duan Lingtian, the reason old ancestor Lian went to the Tai-yi celestial sect to kill you in the wasteland has nothing to do with us or the blissful sect. Please don't misunderstand. An elder from the blissful sect who was standing behind Lu Xiankong said to Duan Lingtian anxiously. Upon hearing this, Lu Xiankong and the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect nodded in agreement. Although they had agreed to kill Duan Lingtian, they had no choice but to admit it. At this moment they could not admit to it. If they did, they would definitely die. Even Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect who had become a celestial king, had died in the hands of Duan Lingtian. If Duan Lingtian wanted to kill them, it would be as easy as killing a chicken. With how easy it was for Duan Lingtian to kill Li Ping, it was impossible for them to even have the chance to escape. With Duan Lingtian's strength, he could easily kill all of them before they could escape. That's right. After a while, another elder of the blissful sect stepped forward and said, Master Duan, we have nothing to do with Lian going to the Tai-yi celestial sect to kill you. He's just trying to seek revenge on you for being too arrogant during the alchemy conference. In the past, he didn't dare to make a move on you for fear that you might be from a powerful clan in the central area. However, after he returned to the blissful sect, he used the sect's intelligence network to investigate you. After confirming that you're not from a powerful clan in the central area, he immediately brought Ji Fan to kill you. After the elder finished speaking, he looked at Ji Fan, who was standing behind Duan Ling Tian, coldly and said, "You're right. As for Ji Fan, he's the one who instigated Lian to kill you, Master Duan. He said that we're only trying to shirk responsibility and protect ourselves by holding a meeting to kill you." The elder of the blissful sect looked at Duan Ling Tian sincerely, as though he was trying to gain Duan Ling Tian's trust. Nonsense. As soon as the elder of the blissful sect finished speaking, Ji Fan, who had just put the floating image pearl away, looked like a rabbit whose tail had been stepped on. He glared at the elder of the blissful sect and said coldly, "What are you talking about? Elder Yuan, you're spouting nonsense. I admit that I participated in the meeting to kill Master Duan. In fact, I even declared that I wanted to kill Master Duan. However, if you say that I'm the main culprit and want to clear your name, I won't accept it. I won't take the blame for this. It's not my fault, so don't try to make me the scapegoat." When Ji Fan reached the end of his sentence, his face seemed to be covered with a layer of frost, emitting waves of coldness. "Ji Fan, you're the culprit, and yet, you're trying to drag us down with you. We didn't offend you in the past, did we? Ji Fan, you and old ancestor Lian were the ones who insisted on killing Master Duan. What does it have to do with us? Ji Fan, don't think you can fool Master Duan. With Master Duan's intelligence, how could he not see that you and old ancestor Lian were the ones who insisted on killing Master Duan?" Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, remained silent. However, the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect pointed at Ji Fan and shouted. Based on their words, it was obvious they were trying to shift the blame to Ji Fan. "Master Duan?" The elders called Duan Lingtian Master Duan. Moreover, the elders mentioned that Master Duan is from the Tai-E celestial sect of the wasteland? Is he really Master Duan from the Tai-E celestial sect of the wasteland? That's impossible, right? Master Duan isn't even 100 years old, right? It's already amazing that he has such achievements in alchemy, even though he's not even 100 years old. Moreover, he's also a celestial king? Is this a joke? The disciples of the blissful sect who were watching from afar were stunned when they heard the elders of the blissful sect addressing Duan Lingtian and mentioning Duan Lingtian's background. As far as they knew, Duan Lingtian was not an ordinary person. Master Duan of the Tai-E celestial sect in the wasteland was indeed called Duan Lingtian. He was an outstanding prominent celestial alchemist who was not even 100 years old. After the alchemy conference, he was widely acknowledged as the best prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions. Apart from that, they did not know much about Duan Lingtian from the Tai-E celestial sect of the wasteland. I don't think that's possible. If he's really Master Duan, it's too unbelievable, right? That's right. He's not even 100 years old. But he's not only an outstanding prominent celestial alchemist, but he's also a celestial king? Is it even possible for such a monster to exist in this world? I think it's impossible as well. How can there be such a coincidence? Earlier, the elders mentioned that Duan Lingtian had a feud with old ancestor Lian during the alchemy conference. As far as I know, there's only one person called Duan Lingtian from the Tai-E celestial sect of the wasteland who attended the alchemy conference, right? Is it possible that he's really Duan Lingtian? This is too unbelievable. As the disciples of the blissful sect discussed among themselves, they were certain that Duan Lingtian was a supreme celestial alchemist. The purple-clad young man in front of them was at least a 3-talent celestial king. He was the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai-E celestial sect of the wasteland, Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian scoffed when he saw the elders of the blissful sect trying to frame Ji Fan, causing the elders to shut their mouths immediately. Master Duan. At this moment, Ji Fan looked at Duan Lingtian and said solemnly, Master Duan, even if you really want to kill me, I, Ji Fan, still want to say that apart from me, they're also the ones who decided to kill you. Ji Fan said coldly as he looked at the elders of the blissful sect. Ji Fan, you're going to die, and you're going to drag me down with you? Upon hearing Jifan's words, the elders of the blissful sect who had fallen silent earlier jumped up in anger. Master Duan, don't believe Jifan's words. Jifan has nothing left to lose. He just wants to drag a few more people down with him. That's right, Master Duan. Jifan's words can't be trusted. Master Duan. The group of blissful sect's elders looked at Duan Lingtian and began to defend themselves. Beads of cold sweat could be seen on their foreheads. Sect leader Lu, do you have anything to say? Duan Lingtian ignored the elders of the blissful sect and looked at Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, who had remained silent all this while. Master Duan, just as the elders of the blissful sect have said, this matter is the fault of my unfilial disciple, Jifan, and my master, Lian. Lu Xiankong finally spoke in a deep voice when he heard Duan Lingtian's question. Chapter 2908. Although I wasn't involved in your death, Master Duan, Jifan is my direct disciple, and Lian is my master. It's only right for me to bear some responsibility. Lu Xiankong looked at Duan Lingtian and said sincerely, however, I hope you can spare the innocent elders of the blissful sect. Ha ha ha. As soon as Lu Xiankong finished speaking, Jifan, who was standing behind Duan Lingtian, could not help but burst out laughing. Lu Xiankong, although I've been your direct disciple for many years, I didn't expect you to be so good at acting. Grandmaster, all of you, and I were the ones who made the decision to kill Master Duan. Now, you're trying to shift the blame to Grandmaster and me? If that's the case, why didn't you explain yourself when I said all of you were the ones who made the decision to kill Master Duan? Why are all of you trying to explain yourself after Master Duan killed Li Ping? Jifan sneered when he finished speaking. Master Duan, don't listen to him. Master Duan, he's lying. Upon hearing Jifan's words, the elders of the blissful sect grew anxious again. They wanted to defend themselves, but Jifan's words did not reach their ears. However, Duan Lingtian was already tired of listening to their excuses. In fact, he knew they were trying to shift the blame when they tried to shift the blame to Duan Lingtian. After all, there was no reason for Jifan to lie to him earlier. He had only asked Jifan about it after he killed Lian. That was also the time when Jifan was the most terrified. At that time, Jifan couldn't possibly lie, nor did he have the guts to do so. Humph. Duan Lingtian scoffed when the elders of the blissful sect tried to shift the blame to Jifan. This cold snort was even colder than the cold snort from before. It made everyone present feel as if they had fallen into an ice cellar. In the next moment, before the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect, including Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, could react, Duan Lingtian's gaze turned cold. Following that, purple energy surged out of his body, and the silhouette of a golden Buddha appeared. After a few moments, the silhouette of the golden Buddha merged with the purple energy, and the silhouette of the golden Buddha seemed to come to life. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Duan Lingtian waved his hands, and purple palm seals shot out of his hands one after another before they rained down on the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. No, Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect, only had time to let out an indignant roar before he was drowned by the palm prince and turned into a bloody rain. Since the other high-ranking officials of the blissful sect were sect, they did not even have the chance of Duan Lingtian's death before they could react. Blood rained down from the sky, staining the corpses of the blissful sect's disciples and staining the ground red. At this moment, the air seemed to have solidified. It was only when the blood rained down from the sky and became a part of the ground that the air seemed to have calmed down. However, the air was still filled with the stench of blood, and it was nauseating. The disciples of the blissful sect were no exception. Hiss, 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 hiss. Although the disciples of the blissful sect did not know what had happened, they realized something when they saw Duan Lingtian collecting a large number of spatial rings with just a wave of his hand. They realized that all the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect had been killed. Moreover, the blood on the ground was the best proof of this. For a moment, the disciples of the blissful sect trembled in fear. They wanted to throw up, But they did not dare to do so. They did not want to provoke the purple-clad young man in the distance. How nice would it be if I could always have this kind of power? After collecting the spatial rings of the blissful sect's high-ranking officials, Duan Lingtian stretched out his hands and clenched them a few times. A hint of intoxication could be seen on his face. Although Duan Lingtian's strength today was not as strong as when he was in the Tai-E celestial sect in the wasteland, it was still not as strong as before. After all, he had used his consumable royal-grade celestial weapon. Moreover, the consumable royal-grade celestial weapon would deplete his energy. However, the strength he had displayed today was comparable to a 10 Directions Celestial King. With the strength of a 10 Directions Celestial King, he easily killed Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, who had just become a Celestial King. Then, he easily killed the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. At this moment, Duan Lingtian felt as though he had everything under his control. He felt invincible in the 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands. He enjoyed this feeling very much. It's a pity that my strength is depleted every time I use it. Now that I've depleted a lot of energy, I'm afraid my strength is only comparable to an 8 trigram Celestial King. Duan Lingtian sighed inwardly. Killing Li Ping and the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect had depleted a lot of his energy. After all, Li Ping and the other high-ranking officials were not weak. He had to expend a lot of energy to kill them. Duan Lingtian sighed inwardly as he stood there in a daze. Meanwhile, Ji Fan, who was standing behind Duan Lingtian, had an anxious expression on his face. After all, he was unsure if Duan Lingtian would kill him after killing the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect. Thus, at this moment, he felt very tormented, extremely tormented. I was too greedy. I'm lucky to have obtained the consumable royal-grade celestial weapon and temporarily possess strength comparable to an ordinary celestial duke. Ordinary people don't even have such an opportunity. Duan Lingtian shook his head when he thought about this. He felt that he had been too greedy. However, if it were anyone else, they would have the same thoughts as Duan Lingtian. There were some things that one had not experienced before. Once one had experienced it, one would not want to lose it again. This was the case for Duan Lingtian at this moment. Among the people who decided to kill me during the meeting, are there any who escaped? After a long while, Duan Lingtian finally regained his senses. He turned to look at Ji Fan and asked. And no, Ji Fan was taken aback when he heard Duan Lingtian's question. Then he shook his head and said, apart from some elders who weren't in the blissful sex estate, the high-ranking officials who attended the meeting in the blissful sex estate are all present. Ji Fan paused for a moment as though he had thought of something. Then he continued to say, however, there are some who escaped as well. There are some who escaped as well. Duan Lingtian raised an eyebrow. For example, me. Ji Fan pointed at himself as he looked at Duan Lingtian anxiously. You. Duan Lingtian glanced at Ji Fan indifferently. He did not dwell on this topic. Instead, he asked, I asked you to use the floating image pearl to record the scene of me killing Li Ping. Did you record it? Although it was an accident that Li Ping had a breakthrough and became a celestial king, he did not move at all when I killed him. Under such circumstances, the floating image pearl, a Duke-grade celestial weapon, was able to record the scene of his death. Don't tell me you forgot. If you really forgot to record it, don't blame me for going back on my word and killing you. Duan Lingtian's eyes flashed coldly as he looked at Ji Fan. I did record it. I did record it. Master Duan, I did record it. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Ji Fan hastily nodded and sighed in relief. Now there's something I need you to do. Duan Lingtian's eyes flashed as he instructed Ji Fan. If you do this well, I won't pursue the enmity between us anymore. However, if you don't do a good job, you should know the consequences. When Duan Lingtian finished speaking, a cold light flashed in his eyes again. Don't worry, Master Duan. I, Ji Fan, will definitely do a good job. I won't disappoint you. Ji Fan promised repeatedly in the face of Duan Lingtian's threat. All right. Duan Lingtian nodded before he turned around and left. He had no intention of bringing Ji Fan with him. Ji Fan heaved a long sigh of relief when he saw Duan Lingtian's back disappearing into the fog. At the same time, he stepped into the air and flew toward the blissful sect's disciples in the distance. The blissful sect's disciples heaved a sigh of relief when they saw Duan Lingtian leaving. However, when they saw Duan Lingtian leaving and Ji Fan approaching them, their expressions changed immediately. Arhat! Arhat! Although their expressions changed, they still greeted Ji Fan respectfully. It was as though they had not heard Ji Fan's announcement that he was leaving the blissful sect. Due to the distance, the blissful sect's disciples did not know what Duan Lingtian had told Ji Fan. Moreover, even if they knew what Duan Lingtian had told Ji Fan, they knew Ji Fan would no longer be related to Duan Lingtian. After Duan Lingtian left the blissful sect, they still did not dare to act impudently in front of Ji Fan. After all, Ji Fan's strength was far stronger than any of them. Most importantly, they thought Ji Fan was Duan Lingtian's subordinate, a 3-talent celestial king, or someone stronger than a 3-talent celestial king. For this reason, they did not dare to disrespect Ji Fan at all. I have something that I need all of you to do, Ji Fan said indifferently as he looked at the blissful sect's disciples. Chapter 2909. Master Duan. Tai Tai He, the supreme elder of the Tai Yi celestial sect, who was waiting outside the blissful sect's estate, was unaware of what was happening in the blissful sect's estate. Only when Duan Lingtian walked out of the mist and appeared in his line of sight did his pair of eyes that were originally as tranquil as an ancient well ripple with circles of ripples. Elder Tai. After a while, Duan Lingtian returned to Tai Tai He's side. After greeting Tai Tai He looked at Huan, who was still immersed in comprehending celestial methods and divine abilities. Then, he looked at Tai Tai He and said, Elder Tai, I'll have to trouble you to bring us to the general region. As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, his eyes shone brightly. The general region? Tai Tai He was slightly taken aback when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. Master Duan, although the general region is adjacent to the cross region, it's on the other side. Why are you going there? The general region was in the other direction, which was completely opposite to the direction they had taken to return to the desolate region. I'm going to the compassionate celestial traveler sect. Duan Lingtian did not hide the truth from Tai Tai He. For a moment, the light in his eyes that had not completely dimmed suddenly lit up again. It was as dazzling as the stars in the night sky. Before coming to the blissful sect, Duan Lingtian had already made up his mind to visit the compassionate celestial traveler sect. Naturally, he did not intend to bring Morong Bing to the compassionate celestial traveler sect. Duan Lingtian had thought about many things along the way. There was no doubt that Morong Bing was his woman. For this reason, he hoped Morong Bing would be able to live a peaceful life. If Morong Bing left the 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands to the central area with him, she would definitely encounter some unknown dangers. Moreover, Morong Bing had spent most of her life in the compassionate celestial traveler sect. She was used to living in the compassionate celestial traveler sect. All in all, he felt it was a good idea for Morong Bing to stay in the compassionate celestial traveler sect. When he had the ability to rescue his wife, Ke, Li Fei, and his family from the world of divine remains, he would return to the border of the Southern Heaven Territory to take Morong Bing away. 1,000 years later, I will come and take her away. That is if I'm still alive at that time. Now what I need to do is to give her an environment where she can grow up safely and live a good life. On the way to the compassionate celestial traveler sect's estate in the general region, Duan Lingtian thought about many things. In the end, he felt he could not selfishly bring Morong Bing along. After all, if he continued on this path, his future was uncertain, and his life and death were unknown. It would not be easy for him to grow strong enough to rescue Ke, Li Fei, and the others from the world of divine remains within 1,000 years. He would have to go through a cruel and dangerous process. He did not want Morong Bing to go through this process with him. The general region was next to the cross region. Therefore, it was much faster to travel from the cross region to the general region compared to traveling from the wasteland to the cross region. Nevertheless, with Tai Tai's speed, it would still take him a few months to reach the cross region. Master Duan. After leaving the blissful sex estate, Tai Tai could no longer suppress his curiosity and asked Duan Lingtian, "When you entered the blissful sex estate, did you really kill the high-ranking officials of the blissful sect?" In Tai Tai's opinion, the blissful sect was one of the top forces in the 6 southeastern regions. Its strength was second only to the profound heaven celestial sect, the strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions. Yes. Duan Lingtian nodded and said indifferently, "Apart from Ji Fan, I've killed everyone from the blissful sect who participated in the meeting to kill me, including Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect." Duan Lingtian spoke very calmly, as though he was talking about something that had nothing to do with him. It was as though he was casually talking about something that was related to him, but was not worth mentioning at all. Gasp. Although Tai Tai was mentally prepared, he could not help but gasp when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. Another high-ranking official from the blissful sect tried to stop me from killing Lu Xiankong and the others, but I killed him as well. Tai Tai gasped as Duan Lingtian continued to say nonchalantly, "That's right. He tried to stop you from killing Lu Xiankong and the others?" Tai Tai was taken aback when he regained his senses. His eyes widened in shock as he asked, "Master Duan, are you talking about Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect?" After Tai Tai regained his senses, it was not difficult for him to guess who Duan Lingtian was referring to. Now that Lian, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, was dead, there were only 2 9 palaces celestial dukes left in the blissful sect. One of them was Lu Xiankong, the sect leader of the blissful sect. He was Li An's direct disciple, and a 9 palaces celestial duke. The other person was Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect. He was a 10 directions celestial duke, and the strongest person in the blissful sect. "That's him." Duan Lingtian nodded. "Ha!" Tai Tai scoffed when he heard Duan Lingtian's confirmation. "He's just a 10 directions celestial duke. How dare he stop you from killing Lu Xiankong and the others? He's courting death." "A 10 directions celestial duke?" Duan Lingtian shook his head when he heard Tai Tai's words. "Elder Tai, you're wrong. Li Ping has broken through and become a celestial king today. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to stop me from killing Lu Xiankong and the others." "What?" Tai Tai was shocked by Duan Lingtian's words. He asked in disbelief, "Master Duan, based on your words, Li Ping, the old ancestor of the blissful sect, has broken through and become a celestial king today?" "Yes." Duan Lingtian nodded. "Master Duan, does this mean Li Ping is a 1 basic celestial king?" Tai Tai looked at Duan Lingtian with his mouth agape. "Yes." Duan Lingtian nodded again. At this time, Tai Tai opened his mouth, but couldn't make a sound for a long time. This was because the shock Duan Lingtian brought to him was just too great. It seems like Master Duan is not an ordinary celestial king. Since he's able to kill Li Ping who has broken through and become a celestial king, he must be at least a 2-form celestial king. Tai Tai thought to himself as he led Duan Lingtian and Huaner on their journey. At the same time, he could not help but feel sorry for the blissful sect. Even if the blissful sect survives, I'm afraid it'll be removed from the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands. Once news of Li Ping becoming a celestial king and becoming a celestial king spreads, even the quasi-celestial kings of the blissful sect, who live in seclusion in the 6 southeastern regions, won't dare to support the blissful sect anymore. After all, they're worried Master Duan will attack them for supporting the blissful sect. Since Master Duan is able to kill a celestial king, it won't be difficult for him to kill them. Tai Tai was certain of this. He was certain the blissful sect was doomed this time. The reason why the blissful sect ended up like this is because they offended someone they shouldn't have. Duan Lingtian sighed. When Tai Tai thought of this, he glanced at Duan Lingtian again as his heart trembled. "Elder Tai." Duan Lingtian suddenly recalled something. He looked at Tai Tai and asked, "If I'm not mistaken, the profound heaven celestial sect is in the cross region as well, right?" Duanling Tian narrowed his eyes when he finished speaking. A cold gleam could be seen in his eyes. He recalled how He Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, was killed by Wuxia, the sect leader of the Profound Heaven celestial sect. At that time, Wuxia had used He Shan's death as an excuse to kill Yu Xian, the young master of the Profound Heaven celestial sect. As a result, the Tai celestial sect lost an 8-trigram celestial duke. It would be fine if Yu Xian was dead. However, Yu Xian was still alive. It was obvious the Profound Heaven celestial sect had plotted to kill He Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. Yes, in fact, he had hoped Duanling Tian would avenge He Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, who was killed by the Profound Heaven celestial sect. However, he did not know how to bring it up. After all, Duanling Tian was only a revered elder of the Tai celestial sect. He was not obligated to avenge the Tai celestial sect. Now that he heard Duanling Tian mention the Profound Heaven celestial sect, he knew what Duanling Tian was up to. In that case, let's make a trip to the Profound Heaven celestial sect. When Duanling Tian opened his eyes again, his expression that was slightly tense was no longer as tense as before. I'd like to ask Yu Xian, the young master of the Profound Heaven celestial sect, how did he manage to escape from the old ancestor's hands? A sneer appeared on Duanling Tian's face when he finished speaking. Yes, Master Duan. Although he had guessed Duanling Tian would go to the Profound Heaven celestial sect to avenge the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, he could not help but feel excited when he heard Duanling Tian's confirmation. Then, he led Duanling Tian and Huan to the Profound Heaven celestial sect's estate. He had been to the Profound Heaven celestial sect's estate with his master many years ago, so he was familiar with the place. Master Duan, the Profound Heaven celestial sect is right in front of us. Chapter 29:10. The Profound Heaven celestial sect was one of the top sects in the borderlands of the Southern Heaven Territory. It was also the strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions. The Profound Heaven celestial sect had a strong foundation. Most importantly, the Profound Heaven celestial sect was one of the strongest sects in the 6 southeastern regions. Some of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions did not even have a 9 palaces celestial duke, let alone a 10 directions celestial duke. Although some of the top sects had a 9 palaces celestial duke, they did not have a 10 directions celestial duke. For example, the Profound Heaven celestial sect, the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect, and the Blissful sect were famous sects in the 6 southeastern regions. Apart from the Profound Heaven celestial sect, there was only one 10 directions celestial duke among these top sections. Even so, their strength was only second to the Profound Heaven celestial sect in the 6 southeastern regions. There were 3 10 directions celestial dukes in the Profound Heaven celestial sect. Due to these 3 10 directions celestial dukes, their status in the 6 southeastern regions, and even in the borderlands had been established. Naturally, this was only the strength of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions and the borderlands. Nobody knew if a sect had a quasi-celestial king in seclusion in the borderlands or not. After all, these powerhouses would only show up when the sect was in danger of being annihilated. In the history of the 6 southeastern regions, the Tai celestial sect had a quasi-celestial king. There was no lack of similar examples in the history of other regions in the borderlands. Because of this, even in the 6 southeastern regions and the entire borderlands, although there were many weaker top sects, no powerful top sect dared to rashly touch those weaker top sections. This was because those top sects only had weaker members in the current generation. They also had a glorious past, and had given birth to many immortal kings. Nobody could be certain that none of the celestial kings who left the top sects were quasi-celestial kings who remained in seclusion in the borderlands. However, in the 6 southeastern regions, even the Profound Heaven celestial sect did not dare to easily annihilate the weaker top sects for fear of the quasi-celestial kings behind them. Although the Profound Heaven celestial sect was the strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions, None of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions dared to challenge them. Although the sect leaders of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect, and the Blissful sect, and the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial sect were on par with each other, the sect leaders of the Blissful sect and the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect were usually inferior to the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial sect. After all, as long as the Profound Heaven Celestial sect did not intend to annihilate the other top sects, they would not easily make a move even if they had quasi-celestial kings in the 6 southeastern regions. The Profound Heaven Celestial sect is right ahead? Duan Ling Tian knew they had arrived at the Profound Heaven Celestial sect when Tai Tai He came to a halt. Upon hearing Tai Tai He's words, Duan Ling Tian turned to look ahead. In front of them was a boundless forest. It was a verdant forest. Above this verdant forest, at a height of 10,000 meters, there was a cloud of mist that was clearly different from the other clouds. If Duan Ling Tian did not use the consumable royal-grade celestial weapon, with his current strength, he would not have noticed it. However, with just a glance, Duan Ling Tian could tell there was something different about the cloud. The Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's estate is located 10,000 meters above the forest. There are many celestial beasts in the forest that don't have intelligence and don't know how to fly. For this reason, the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's disciples usually train here. Tai Tai He glanced at the cloud that Duan Ling Tian felt was slightly different. Then, he shifted his gaze to the forest in front of him. Duan Ling Tian nodded. Let's go and meet Bai Yuxian, the young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect, who managed to escape from the old ancestor. I'd like to hear from him about how he managed to escape from the old ancestor, Duan Ling Tian said indifferently. As soon as he finished speaking, a powerful and terrifying celestial origin energy surged out of his body and gently shrouded Huan and Tai Tai He. In just a blink of an eye, the three of them seemed to have vanished into thin air. When they reappeared, they were already 10,000 meters above the ground. They had even passed through the fog formed by multiple formations. The fog was the first layer of defense in the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's estate. Even a one basic celestial king would not be able to break through the formation if they were not from the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect. As for Duan Ling Tian, with his strength that was comparable to an 8 trigram celestial king, he was able to pass through the protective formation easily. Brother Ling Tian, it seems like the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's estate is much stronger than the Tai Yi Celestial Sect's estate. After passing through the fog and entering the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's estate, Duan Ling Tian heard Huaner's voice. A few days ago, Huaner had stopped comprehending celestial methods and divine abilities. She did not continue comprehending celestial methods and divine abilities. Upon hearing Huaner's words, Tai Tai He smiled wryly. He was already used to Huaner's carefree attitude. After all, the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect is the strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions. Duan Ling Tian's eyes lit up when he saw the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's estate. He was taken aback. The Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's estate was made of beautiful floating islands. Each of the floating islands had a different shape and structure. The only thing these floating islands had in common was that they were all exquisitely decorated. Even if one looked at them from afar, they were visually stunning and made one feel comfortable. Elder Tai, since we've come from afar, we're guests. I'm here as the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Yi Celestial Sect. Duan Ling Tian looked at Tai Tai He who was standing next to him and said, Therefore, you should greet your friends from the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect. Duan Ling Tian said with a smile on his face. However, when Duan Ling Tian spoke with a smile on his face, a hint of coldness could be seen in the depths of his eyes. When he learned that Bai Yuxian, the young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect, was still alive and that He Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai Yi Celestial Sect, had been framed and killed by the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect, he was furious. Although he was not close to He Shan, the Tai Yi Celestial Sect was still the Tai Yi Celestial Sect's estate. After all, He Shan was the old ancestor of the Tai Yi Celestial Sect, and he had a good relationship with Bai Ping. the sect leader of the Tai Celestial sect. Therefore, if he had the ability to intervene, he would not stand idly by. Alright. Tai he had been waiting for Duan Lingtian to say this. Therefore, as soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, he immediately spoke. His voice that contained his majestic celestial origin energy swept out and shrouded the entire profound heaven celestial sex estate. I, Tai he, the supreme elder of the Tai Celestial sect, am here to visit the profound heaven celestial sect with Master Duan, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Celestial sect. These were Tai he's words. Tai he's words caused an uproar in the profound heaven celestial sex estate. After all, anyone could tell that Tai he had barged into the profound heaven celestial sex estate uninvited. If Tai he was a 7-star celestial duke, let alone a 7-star celestial duke, even a 10 directions celestial duke would not be able to hear his voice so clearly. This was because the formation outside the profound heaven celestial sex estate was soundproof. Only celestial kings and above would be able to transmit their voices to the entire profound heaven celestial sex estate. Tai he, the supreme elder of the Tai Celestial sect, the left guardian of Dharma of the Tai Celestial sect, who had recently become a 7-star celestial duke? Based on his words, it seems like he didn't inform the profound heaven celestial sect beforehand. Did he barge into the profound heaven celestial sect uninvited? He's just a 7-star celestial duke. How dare he? He seems to have come with Duan Lingtian, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Celestial sect. Is it possible that Duan Lingtian gave him the confidence to do so? Even the former number 1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions, Sun Chao, can only wait outside. Even if Duan Lingtian has replaced Sun Chao as the number 1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions, he still doesn't have the right to barge into the profound heaven celestial sect. When Tai he's voice resounded in the profound heaven celestial sex estate, many disciples of the profound heaven celestial sect felt that Duan Lingtian and Tai he were being rude. Tai he, Duan Lingtian is here as well. Why are they here? Bai Wuji, the sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect, raised an eyebrow when he heard Tai he's voice. Duan Lingtian and Tai he had barged into the profound heaven celestial sect uninvited. Moreover, based on Tai he's tone, it seemed like they were here to look for trouble. Although Bai Wuji knew Tai he and Duan Lingtian were here to look for trouble, he did not plan to personally meet them. After all, he was a prominent figure in the profound heaven celestial sect. Let's go. Let's meet Tai he from the Tai Celestial sect. I'd like to see where he got the confidence to barge into the profound heaven celestial sect. A mere 7-star celestial duke dares to act so arrogantly. I'd like to see if he still dares to act so arrogantly in front of an 8 trigrams celestial duke like he did earlier. Does he really think he can do as he pleases, just because he has a brat by his side who's widely acknowledged as the number 1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions? Today, I'd like to see how Tai he will give us an explanation for his rash actions today. Bai Wuji, the sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect, did not plan to meet Duan Lingtian and Tai he personally. Chapter 29:11. There were many beautiful floating islands in the profound heaven celestial sect's encampment. They looked like holy and ethereal islands. At the highest point of the profound heaven celestial sect's estate, there were 3 small islands. Each of the 3 islands only had a courtyard and a house. The houses looked simple, but they were filled with flowers and plants. Tai he, the supreme elder of the Tai Celestial sect, and Master Duan, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Celestial sect, have come to visit the profound heaven celestial sect. When Tai he's voice resounded in the profound heaven celestial sect's estate, the 3 people who lived on the 3 small islands stopped what they were doing when they heard Tai he's voice. One of the people who was drinking tea at a stone table in the courtyard stopped what he was doing when he heard Tai he's voice. Tai he, the guardian of the Tai Celestial sect, who became a 7-star celestial duke a few years ago? The person who was drinking tea was an old man dressed in a white robe. He was skinny and looked like an immortal. At that moment, the old man had a calm expression on his face as he muttered to himself. Clearly, he did not take Tai seriously at all. In the courtyard of another small island nearby, a middle-aged man was originally lying on the lawn of the courtyard, resting with his eyes closed. When he suddenly heard Tai's voice, he stood up and sat on the lawn, muttering to himself, "Brother Tai." He muttered to himself, "A mere 7-star celestial duke dares to act so presumptuously in the profound heaven celestial sect. He's seeking death." After muttering to himself, the middle-aged man's eyes suddenly flashed with a cold light, giving people the feeling that winter had arrived. It was to the extent that even the blue robes on his body began to flutter at this moment. It was as though a cold wind was blowing at him. In the courtyard of the last small island, a middle-aged man dressed in a green robe, who was watering the flowers, paused for a moment when he heard Tai's voice. His expression remained unchanged from the beginning until the end. It was as though he would remain calm even if Mount Tai collapsed in front of him. If someone saw this middle-aged man dressed in a green robe and the middle-aged man dressed in a blue robe, they would definitely notice that the two of them looked identical. The two of them looked exactly the same. Other than the difference in their temperaments, there was nothing different about them. In the outer region of the profound heaven celestial sex estate, as soon as Tai finished speaking, he, Duan Lingtian, and Huaner were surrounded by a group of patrolling disciples from the profound heaven celestial sect. The patrolling disciples of the profound heaven celestial sect looked at Tai with a hint of fear in their eyes. Although Tai's cultivation base was not worth mentioning in the eyes of the powerful high-ranking officials in the profound heaven celestial sect, however, with Tai's cultivation base, he was a deterrent to the patrolling disciples of the profound heaven celestial sect. A 7-star immortal monarch was sufficient to sweep through all of them without the slightest effort. If they were not worried about being questioned by the patrolling elders, they would not have dared to surround Tai and his two companions before the powerful high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect arrived. This was because there was a huge risk involved. As long as Tai attacked them, there was almost no chance of them surviving. Tai, the supreme elder of the Tai celestial sect of the wasteland, seems like he came with ill intentions. I hope he won't attack us because of the profound heaven celestial sect's strength. The patrolling disciples from the profound heaven celestial sect thought to themselves. At the same time that this thought appeared in their minds, their hearts were also a little uneasy and incomparably perturbed. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. After a while, the sound of wind whistling could be heard as a group of people flew over from all directions in the profound heaven celestial sect's estate. The patrolling disciples from the profound heaven celestial sect heaved a sigh of relief. At the same time, they looked at Tai in a different light. As it turned out, when they looked at Tai their eyes were filled with dread and anxiety. When they looked at Tai again, their gazes were filled with pity and schadenfreude. Elder Hong is here. He's an 8-trigram celestial duke. Elder Qi is here as well. He's also an 8-trigram celestial duke. Elder Huang, Elder Qiu, and Elder Chun are all 7-star celestial dukes. This time, I'm afraid Tai, the supreme elder of the Tai celestial sect, is in trouble. Not only in the profound heaven celestial sect, but in any other sect, it's taboo to trespass on a sect's estate. When the patrolling disciples from the profound heaven celestial sect saw the group of high-ranking officials from the profound heaven celestial sect, they were relieved that Tai and his two companions were in trouble. The high-ranking officials from the profound heaven celestial sect were led by an old man and a middle-aged man. The old man was dressed in a long green robe and had a cold expression on his face. He was none other than Elder Hong. Moreover, according to the patrolling disciples from the profound heaven celestial sect, he was an 8-trigram celestial duke. The middle-aged man was wearing a long light gray robe and had a jade-like complexion. However, when he arrived at this area, he stopped in a timely manner. When he looked at Tai Taiha, his eyes were filled with ice-cold light. He was none other than the other 8 trigrams celestial duke, mentioned by the patrolling disciples, from the profound heaven celestial sect, Elder Qi. Tai Taihi, as the supreme elder of the Tai Yi celestial sect, you'll have to give the profound heaven celestial sect an explanation for barging into our sect's estate. Elder Hong said coldly as he looked at Tai Taihi with a dark expression. That's right. Elder Qi looked at Tai Taihi coldly and said, Tai Taihi, as the supreme elder of the Tai Yi celestial sect, you should know that trespassing on a sect's estate is taboo, right? I'm sure the Tai Yi celestial sect doesn't allow outsiders to barge into their sect's estate, right? Elder Qi stared at Tai Taihi. As he spoke, his gaze became increasingly cold. Tai Taihi, if you can't give the profound heaven celestial sect an explanation for what happened today, you can forget about leaving. That's right. If you can't give us an explanation, Elder Hong and Elder Qi won't even have to make a move. We're more than enough to make you stay in the profound heaven celestial sect forever. Tai Taihi, you'll have to pay for your impulsiveness. After Elder Hong and Elder Qi, who were the strongest among the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect, the other high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect also glared at Tai Taihi. Their words were not polite at all. It was to the extent that most of the people's words revealed bursts of cold killing intent. Tai Taihi was slightly taken aback when he heard the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect. Based on their words, it seemed like they thought he was the one who trespassed into the profound heaven celestial sect's estate. However, Tai Taihi did not respond to the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect. Instead, he moved to stand behind Duan Lingtian, as though he was the leader of the profound heaven celestial sect. The elders of the profound heaven celestial sect were stunned by Tai Taihi's actions. At this moment, Duan Lingtian took a step forward and glanced at the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect indifferently before he said nonchalantly, he said calmly, the one who trespassed into the profound heaven celestial sect's estate isn't Elder Tai. It's me. I'm here today to listen to Bai Yu Xian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect. Tell me how he managed to escape when he Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect, tried to kill him. When Duan Lingtian reached the end of his sentence, his eyes flashed coldly. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, many high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect scoffed. You, trespassing into the profound heaven celestial sect's estate? Do you think you're strong enough to do that? That's right. Although you're a rare genius in alchemy, you're only an overarching heavenly supreme celestial, right? An overarching heavenly supreme celestial, like you won't be able to break through the formations in the profound heaven celestial sect's estate. Do you think we're stupid? The high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect looked at Duan Lingtian, as though he was an idiot. Everyone, haven't you heard about the news from the blissful sect? Although Master Duan from the Tai Yi celestial sect is talented in alchemy and the celestial path, he fabricated his identity and background. I've heard about this before. How trustworthy can a person who fabricated his identity be? He's nothing but a liar. When one of the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect mentioned that Duan Lingtian had fabricated his identity and background, many of the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect scoffed at Duan Lingtian and looked at Duan Lingtian with disdain. I'll give you 3 breaths to leave. Duan Lingtian suddenly spoke. His voice was indifferent, drowning out the voices of the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect. If none of you leave after 3 breaths, call Bai Yu Xian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, over here. I'll kill one of you. 3 breaths after I kill that person. If no one leaves this place, go and call Bai Yu Xian over. I will kill another person. And so on and so forth. Duan Lingtian's tone was calm, as though he was talking about something insignificant. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, the entire place fell silent. After a while, the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect finally regained their senses and burst out laughing. Chapter 29:12. He's just an overarching heavenly supreme celestial. How dare he say that? He must have lost his mind. How dare an overarching heavenly supreme celestial threaten to kill us if we don't cooperate with him? I'd like to see. Who among us will he kill after 3 breaths of time? And who will he be able to kill? Now that 1 breath has passed, there are only 2 breaths left. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect burst into laughter. Based on their words, they felt Duan Lingtian was being ridiculous. Their eyes were filled with disdain and mockery when they looked at Duan Lingtian again. Although Elder Hong and Elder Qi, who were the leaders of the profound heaven celestial sect, did not say anything, they looked at Duan Lingtian with disdain as well. He's Duan Lingtian, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect in the wasteland? The person whose name spread throughout the 6 southeastern regions after the alchemy conference? Yes, that's him. After the alchemy conference, he's widely acknowledged as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions. It's said that he's not even 100 years old, and he's an overarching heavenly supreme celestial. It's undeniable that he's able to achieve such a feat in alchemy within the age of 100. It's also undeniable that he's able to break through and become an overarching heavenly supreme celestial before the age of 100. However, I really don't understand how a mere overarching heavenly supreme celestial like him has the guts to say such words. How dare he ask the elders to cooperate with him? Moreover, if the elders don't cooperate after the span of 3 breaths, he'll kill one of the elders? Is he crazy? In the past, the blissful sect hasn't spread the news about him. Fortunately, the elders have to be wary of the major clans in the central area. Now that they've confirmed he's not from a major clan in the central area, there's no need for them to be wary of him anymore. He's digging his own grave by acting like this. Could it be that he still doesn't know that the blissful sect has investigated him thoroughly? He definitely doesn't know about it. If he knew, why would he be so arrogant? The high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect laughed when they heard Duan Lingtian's words. Meanwhile, the patrolling disciples of the profound heaven celestial sect began to whisper among themselves. Based on their words, they felt Duan Lingtian was spouting nonsense. More people thought that Duan Lingtian was going to be in trouble. 3 breaths of time is up. Duan Lingtian's voice rang out once again. His voice was not loud, but once it rang out, it seemed to possess some sort of magical power that instantly suppressed the noise in the area. 3 breaths of time is up. I want to see which one of us you want to kill. An elder from the profound heaven celestial sect stepped forward and looked at Duan Lingtian disdainfully as he said, "My strength is only average among the elders of the blissful sect. I'm only a 6 combination celestial duke. Why don't you try and kill me?" A hint of mockery could be seen on the elder's face when he finished speaking. Many elders and disciples of the profound heaven celestial sect looked at Duan Lingtian mockingly as well. A bunch of idiots. Tai he glanced at the people from the profound heaven celestial sect and shook his head when he saw the people from the profound heaven celestial sect were unmoved by Duan Lingtian's words. A hint of sorrow could be seen in his eyes. He felt sorry for the people from the profound heaven celestial sect. "I was just thinking about who to kill first. Since you're so eager to die, I'll fulfill your wish." As soon as the elder of the profound heaven celestial sect finished speaking, Duan Lingtian turned to look at him. Killing intent flashed in the depths of Duan Lingtian's eyes. It was so terrifying that it seemed to be able to freeze one's soul. Before the people from the profound heaven celestial sect could react, Duan Lingtian's words left their mouths. Ugh! Under everyone's watchful eyes, the elder of the profound heaven celestial sect, who claimed to be a 6 combination celestial duke, suddenly clasped his hands around his neck. His face was so red that it seemed as though blood was about to drip out of it. His facial features were contorted, as though he was in excruciating pain. What's going on? Everyone was shocked when they saw this. Even the elders of the profound heaven celestial sect, who were disdainful of Duan Lingtian earlier, had a grave expression on their faces. Bang! At this moment, A loud explosion rang in the air, and everyone was shocked by the profound heaven celestial sect's elder's strange actions, and his face that was as red as blood. At the same time, they saw the elder from the profound heaven celestial sect. The elder from the profound heaven celestial sect who had insulted Duan Lingtian earlier suddenly exploded into a rain of blood, leaving behind a spatial ring that fell to the ground. Swoosh! The storage ring fell from the sky for a moment. Then it was pulled by an invisible force and flew to a certain place. Duan Lingtian raised his hand and put it away. Swoosh! 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 The high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect finally regained their senses when they saw Duan Lingtian taking the spatial ring of the profound heaven celestial sect's elder. Their expressions changed drastically as they inhaled sharply. When they looked at Duan Lingtian again, a hint of fear could be seen in their eyes. The two 8-trigram celestial dukes, Elder Hong and Elder Qi, glanced at Duan Lingtian fearfully before they began to scan their surroundings. It was as though they were trying to find a hidden powerhouse in the surroundings. Although the elder from the profound heaven celestial sect, who had been killed, was only a 6-combination celestial duke, both of them could easily kill him. However, they knew they were not capable of killing the profound heaven celestial sect's elder in such a bizarre manner. I'm afraid only a powerhouse like the sect leader would be able to kill a 6-combination celestial duke with such a bizarre method. Right? Elder Hong looked at Elder Qi and asked through voice transmission. At the same time, he looked at Elder Qi with a fearful gaze. I agree. Only a 9 palaces celestial duke or stronger would be able to kill a 6-combination celestial duke with such a bizarre method. Even we didn't notice it since we weren't on guard. Elder Qi replied through voice transmission. In Elder Qi's opinion, with his and Elder Hong's strength, they would be able to detect a 9 palaces celestial duke if they were on guard. After all, they were 8 trigrams celestial dukes. However, based on their previous state, it was only natural that they would not be able to detect a 9 palaces celestial duke's attack. For this reason, they speculated that the person hiding in the dark might be stronger than a 9 palaces celestial duke, or a 9 palaces celestial duke. What's going on? He's dead? Elder Peng is a 6-combination celestial duke, right? A 6-combination celestial duke died just like that? Is Duan Lingtian the culprit? The expressions of the profound heaven celestial sect's patrolling disciples changed drastically. When they looked at Duan Lingtian again, they were no longer filled with disdain and mockery. Instead, they were filled with shock and confusion. However, when some of the profound heaven celestial sect's elders followed Elder Hong and Elder Qi's gazes, they could guess what the elders were thinking. It seems like there's a hidden powerhouse behind this. Isn't it said that Duan Lingtian's identity as a disciple of a powerful clan in the central area is fake? The blissful sect went to great lengths to investigate this matter. That's right. How do you explain what happened earlier? At this moment, not only were the patrolling disciples confused, but even the high-ranking officials of the profound heaven celestial sect were confused as well. Very good. Another 3 breaths have passed. Duan Lingtian did not expect no one would call by Yu Xian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, out even after he had killed a 6-combination celestial duke. He could not help but narrow his eyes. Initially, the people from the profound heaven celestial sect did not take Duan Lingtian's threat seriously. However, after Duan Lingtian said 3 breaths had passed, the death of the 6-combination celestial duke shocked the people from the profound heaven celestial sect. They began to take Duan Lingtian's threat seriously. During the next 3 breaths, the elders from the profound heaven celestial sect were not afraid of Duan Lingtian. It was just that they did not have time to react. However, when they heard Duan Lingtian's voice again, their expressions changed again. At this moment, Duan Lingtian's voice sounded like the voice of the Grim Reaper, causing them to shudder involuntarily. Humph! Duan Lingtian scoffed. In just a blink of an eye, he appeared in front of the old man Elder Hong, who was the leader of the high-ranking officials from the blissful sect. Based on the reactions of the people from the blissful sect, Duan Lingtian, and the others from the Profound Heaven Celestial sect were suspicious. These people thought the death of the 6 combinations Celestial Duke from the Profound Heaven Celestial sect was caused by a hidden powerhouse. For this reason, Duan Lingtian decided to show these people his true strength. An 8-trigram Celestial Duke? Duan Lingtian appeared out of thin air in front of Elder Hong. Elder Hong only regained his senses when he heard Duan Lingtian's question. His expression changed again, and his eyes widened in shock and fear. How fast? You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.